the fuck is that guy?
I make my own moves, yeah, I'm bossing.
All weak bitches, please proceed to the exit.
Is there no one else? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
We are not for the weak.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Not for the Week. It's your boy James.
It is your boy Jay.
It's Wes.
Hi, I'm Shane.
It's you can just point out Shane.
Sorry, I didn't know if we were rotating in this.
Shane.
We should probably.
We want to speak.
Do you want to redo that? Should we?
No, man. We started already.
All right. Fuck it.
So we're joined by Shane.
Hey, how's it going?
Mr. Shane,
Big Shane.
tapping that ass.
Hey, how's it going?
Is that the official? That's how.
That's actually how you find him on Instagram. Is
I've been hearing that joke since I think I heard ass in elementary school, and I was like, ass?
Okay.
how do you spell? What is that?
Okay. Tapping the ass.
That was like the first thing I think I said with your last name in like
At least-
7th grade when I met you. I was like Shane, and I remember I used to think it was like the coolest thing ever. And I think I said it around you one time, and I was like, oh, he's heard this a lot.
Think about this though. Like, think about how cool. Like, that's a cool. Like, you can't make fun of the last name Tappin.
It's unique.
Yeah.
It's
Because people are like tapping that ass, and you're like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, you betcha.
But with me, people are like, oh, you're a new kid, and it's like, yeah, fuck you.
yeah,
That's
Tappin, is
just
that
lame.
Nordic?
It's just lame.
You just look like you're from.
it's
Slavic.
It's yeah, it's I think so. My family's mainly Dutch and French.
Yeah,
Oh, schmuck and a pancake.
Oh yeah, Slavia. No, it's like that's not what I said.
Comes from Iowa. I have a lot of family in Iowa.
Believe it or not, I'm full blown Mexican.
No,
From the state of from the state of Wanaka.
farthest thing from it.
Right.
Oh, man.
So Shane, what do you do for a living?
I actually work for Dutch Bros Coffee.
What do you do for them?
I work in our social media department as a metadata archivist.
That's a lot of words.
That's a new position.
That's
that you
a
took
fairly
on,
new
right?
position. Before that, I was a social media content creator.
Nice.
So I was in charge of our Twitter account, but then I also, for a time being, ran our Snapchat account, and then I also collaborated with Facebook, Instagram, and then just all around internal marketing. So like a lot of stuff going towards our baristas. So I co-hosted our podcast for a while. And
What's the name of your podcast?
you did?
I said, what's the name of your podcast?
Was the red
Oh.
couch?
It's the Dutch Bros podcast. Straight
Nice.
up. Yeah. But yeah, I've been at DB worked right around the corner. That's where I started, and then transitioned to the stand from the stands to HQ about 3 years ago now. I had my 4 years just a couple months ago.
Anybody who doesn't know, I feel like most of the people listening are going to know what Dutch Bros is because it's getting pretty big now. But it's a coffee. It's a coffee company. It's a badass coffee company. Just like people really just love it. The culture. Everybody's always it's almost more of like the coffee's good and stuff like that. But it's like the experience you get there. When you go.
Did you go? Did you go to that big trip?
Summit?
Yeah.
No, the Summit is mainly for our operators, franchisees, our directors. But yeah, no, Jameson just went down there.
Nice.
But us people, we stay back.
What do you think about Macklemore becoming your guys' new creative director?
Saw that.
Yeah, he's
That's crazy.
yeah, he's gonna be I think his title is Executive Creative Director of Cold Brew.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so like we kind of break it up into like brands, and Cold Brew is basically like its own little entity. And yeah, it was announced, and TMZ picked it up.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, I asked, I was like, did we do that? And they're like, no, somebody said something. I was like, who's the whistleblower around here?
That's wild, though. That's like
But
national
yeah,
news.
I had heard some stuff because we do this big event called Cocha. I'm sure you guys know about it.
Yeah.
Coachella.
No.
No. For anybody who's confused, it's not Coachella. It's a different thing.
Cocha is an event that we put on twice a year for our baristas to come experience. It's up in Portland and Sacramento, but the Moda Center, VMC, Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and Moda Center, and then down in Sacramento at Golden One Arena. But it's a big event where all our baristas come together, and all our directors, our culture people, like the CEO, And then we bring in other people to come talk. So they get pumped with like knowledge and like stuff to like hype them up, but like also like it's just a cool day. And then it's always ended with like a cool celebration. So we have like talent come in and like perform. So we've had Macklemore, we've had Dylan Francis, Khalid, John Bellion, 21 Pilots, many more. But so we started this relationship with Macklemore. And then he just became a fan of our cold brew. Like he just fell in love with it. Right. And I think the first time we like worked together, besides Kocha, he had a video. I think it's Marmalade with Lil Yachty. Yeah, and
it's a good song.
If you watch the music video, it's like him as like a little kid, and like there's a bunch of other kids so that in like acting as Macklemore. And there's a scene where he's like making a coffee, and he's like using a machine that has like Dutch Bros branded on it. And then,
that's sick.
And then like his last music video was like a Christmas song, and he's chilling by the fire, sipping cold, like pouring cold brew in like a ice cold mug. Yeah. So now then it's just kind of evolved into this relationship as he's like our creative person, but he's also just kind of serves as a brand ambassador.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing, bro.
He's a rad dude. He's a really super chill guy.
Dude, Dutch Bros is like literally, I mean, it's been a minute that it's like, it's blown up, but like Dutch Bros is like taken off.
Yeah.
Dude. Like it's like really awesome.
It's cool because like, you know, like we're big, but like we're not at the same time, which is awesome.
There's still so much room for growth.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we're growing, you know, we got stands in 7 states. We're the largest privately owned coffee company, and like our projected growth, like, is through the roof right now. Yeah. But yeah, it's sick. And the next 5 years, it's going to be bananas.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Going to more states, open up more locations, and keep rocking and roasting, baby.
So is your current position with them, is it pretty much entail the same type of stuff that you did before? Or is it a little different?
It's a bit different. It's a kind of I was a part of all this like external stuff, like I was in videos and doing the podcast and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I took a different path now where I'm more internal, and so they needed somebody to kind of clean up our servers with all our content as we grow. Like we're growing at such an exponential rate where like we have all this content on our server, and like it's just so much where they needed somebody to go in, clean it up, organize it, make sure everything's in the right spot. So that's where I come in, where I just go in, make sure everything's organized, and then I serve as a liaison for like other departments when they need stuff. But then I still do, like I still help out with our Twitter account. You know, I still help out with Facebook, Instagram whenever they need me to. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm more of the internal side where I just get shit done.
Nice.
It was kind of like a new phenomenon. Like 10 years ago, there was no social media like positions in a company now.
Bro, it's wild. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, even like I was talking about it the other day with somebody. Just 4 years ago, you know, like even 3 years ago, when I came out to HQ, I got specifically hired on to run our Snapchat account because that's when Snapchat was huge, and word had gotten out that I do like funny stuff and super creative posts, whatever. And so they brought me in, and they're just like, you have free reign to just get views, get us followers. So like that first year, like I would get like 500 views on a snap of like winning, like come on. But then like within a year and a half, it got up to like about 10,000, 12,000. Wow.
Holy shit.
But then Snapchat did this giant like update and kind of like monetized all like your stuff. We weren't a verified account,
right?
So a lot of people who were paying got their subscriptions, all that. Now, if you look at the Discover page, it's like celebrities,
right?
And news.
There's like TV shows now.
Exactly. There's like full on TV shows. So when that happened, it literally like I'll never forget it. Like it cut like viewers back to like 2,000. Like it took away like almost because like we weren't verified, so my stuff wasn't popping up.
Right.
So we kind of just shifted focus from doing organic stuff to making Snapchat place for ad sets. So we just do dark ads and stuff on there. So like when you're scrolling through snaps, it's like Dutch Bros,
Right.
But so then from there on, it was the same thing. And they're like, hey, like our Twitter account, like it's really not active at all. Like you have a Twitter, you know it, you're young. I was 22 at the time, 21. So they're like, hey, like since you know how to work it, like we're giving you the keys again,
Right.
Just do what you can. And so that first year, like we had like 130,000 followers, which is decent,
That's a huge amount of followers on Twitter.
Yeah, like but like we weren't posting anything. Like the stuff we were posting would be like random stuff, like here's this drink, and it'd get like 50 likes on it, and so I came in there and I was like, I'm just gonna post. Here's a little tip for social media stuff. I always like to think if you're running social media, if that's what your thing is, like I need to put content out there. I always think put content out there that you would like to see.
Yeah.
Like don't like if you just go heavy on like the aesthetics of drinks and everything, that's cool and all, but after a while it just gets kind of old. Like you need like Wendy's, they kill it on social media.
Their Twitter account's hilarious.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just like I like to think of it as, Facebook is the body. It's like the whole build of like, the brand, of getting information out. Instagram's like the facial features, the look, the sexiness of it. And I think Twitter, in my opinion, is like, it's the personality. It's
100%.
the voice in a way. Cause the demographic of our Twitter users are 16 to 24. And that's almost our same demographic that is coming through our stands.
Yeah.
So that first, I went from there to was it 130,000, and I kind of we went a different direction. So like it's not just me who's kind of doing everything for Twitter, but I think we're at like 200 something thousand now. We're verified.
Yeah.
Gone viral a couple times, and so I don't know. It's fun. But yeah,
I think that's the cool thing about Dutch Bros, man, is like, and that's why I think like everybody that works there like wants to improve and like wants to better the company and like has a great time. It's just because it's fucking fun, dude. You know what I mean? It's fun. Like you guys kick ass. Like you got like, you know what I mean? Like the social media is great, everything like that. And you guys give a shit. The company gives a shit about you. Yeah. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And it's cool.
Yeah. People, I'll say this, it doesn't feel like a job. It honestly does. Like I go in there every day, like, I can't believe I'm working.
Dude, that is like, that is how it should be, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, how many people like walk into a job and they're literally just like immediately like your mindset. Like I remember like working for, I won't say the company's name, but I just like remember working for a specific company and just that corporate vibe, just like immediately like,
I hate my life.
I fucking hate my life, dude. Like literally just working this 9 to 5 bullshit. Actually, I wish it was 9 to 5. It wasn't even. It was like till 10 o'clock at night. But yeah, just, it's just kind of having in a position like that you're in and doing with a company that you're in. Yeah. That's awesome, dude. Like your mindset's just like healthy and fucking not. Like,
it's definitely a different experience. It's more than coffee. Like coffee is just that's something that we sell. Like like our real product is love, and the company. I mean, you guys have all experienced Dutch Bros. Yeah. I mean, you all have friends in it. Yeah, like it's definitely just like more than that. It's something that like. You can't explain. You just got to experience it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Get yourself a cold brew.
It's like any shout out Dutch Bros. It's like any like successful company, right? Like behind the brand, behind the name, there's a person. You know what I mean?
Well, it's realness.
There's
people,
realness.
People can relate to that.
Exactly.
So and then if you like, we come from Grants Pass. Like the first stand was right around the corner.
Right
it's
over
a
there.
pop-up tent. Right over there. Trav and Dane Boersma, went out on a whim in 1992, and here we are now. It's a $500 million corporation, and the headquarters is still in Grants Pass. Like we're humble,
true to the roots.
Exactly.
And
I mean, like I think about it. Like, what would Grants Pass be without Dutch Bros? Like, think about it, man.
100%.
Right.
It's crazy, but long story short, that's a social media guy, and loving every second of it.
That's awesome, dude.
It reflects in your personal social media too. You have a great feed, and you're always happy and smiling, and that's how I picture you being.
Yeah, I try to be. You know, there's a lot of negative things in this world. And I just try to be funny. I don't really try. I just do funny shit.
That's the.
You're just a funny guy.
Yeah, like I just like to have fucking fun. Like why I hate this whole time and age where it's just like. I never want to gas my problems on my social media.
Yeah.
Like there's people who like, man, my life fucking sucks and I can't do anything about it. But I'm like, why? Like, why?
Yeah.
That's Facebook right there. That's
Exactly.
why I never go on Facebook.
I never go on Facebook because like I just can't take this. It's so I go on Facebook and I get bummed out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's just-
man.
Everyone just feels the need to like vent their problems on Facebook. Like
exactly. It's
my
like-
baby daddy left me, and
If you want to do something about it, do something about it. You know.
I started unfollowing people on Facebook. I was like texting.
I'm blocking.
like,
I block people left and right on
Dude,
Facebook.
I
It's
was
just like,
I was talking to my girl, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Facebook is pissing me off." She's like, "What the hell's going on?" I'm like, "These people are just a bunch of idiots."
well,
The one that bothers me the most is I'm in like these groups.
that you never signed up for.
Exactly. I'm like, how did I get? But like the one,
Zaddies of Grants.
what is it? The neighborhood, Josephine County neighborhood chat, sponsored by Tito's. It's just like people. It's all political. It's like all these it's all these Trump supporters, and I'm like the least political person, really.
And that originally started as a group that was supposed to like look out for others. And,
yeah,
like,
there was a group to like talk about like. Hey, there's
Crime.
a shooting
Yeah,
over here.
issues
Stay
in
away.
Grants
Or like,
Park,
hey, someone stole this. But now people are like pushing their own agenda on it. I'm like, man, this sucks.
Well, that's partially the algorithm too of Facebook. Apparently, is the they target things that you will interact with negatively because that's what generates interaction, which generates clicks, which generates revenue for Facebook.
I hate it.
and it sucks because that has just become what has happened to like the world these days. Like as time goes on, negative things become more popular and almost more trendy. It's almost like hip to be a certain type of person. Or it's almost like cool if your life sucks. It's cool if you deal with problems. It's cool if you talk about your shitty baby daddy or baby mama. It's cool if this or cool if that. It's like it's a weird thing, and people like gravitate it towards like flies to shit, man.
It's what gets
insane.
reactions out of people. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like you think about like the concept of, well, this is totally different, but like the concept, why do we have like drama movies? You know what I mean? Like movies like different dramas of like genres, and people love that shit. Yeah. People eat that up. You know what I mean? Because like or shows or shows. You know what I'm saying? Like really what it boils down to is like what is Jersey Shore? You know what I mean? Like
The best show in the world.
the best
A bunch of people
100%.
screaming at each other.
That's the correct answer. And yes, that
Remember we
also
used to have Jersey Shore watch parties.
Those were the
oh,
best.
dude. Literally, but it's all it is just dude, just like well, you have bunch of fucking jazzy boys. You
I'm
know what I'm
definitely
saying?
a Pauly D.
Oh, dude, just smashing snooks in the smush room, just but it's just drama. It's just a bunch of arguing and just fights every night, getting fucked up. You know, like
and even look at like I don't know if you've ever seen the soap opera, but like look at soap operas, dude. There was literally I don't remember what the TV channel was called, but there's a channel on the TV that was specifically made for soap operas, like Days of Our Lives, and like shit like that, like 90210 and
right.
I just like to have
Seven Heaven.
It'd be one thing if everybody was taking information like this, and the thing is we just live in this day and age where we've talked about it before. Like social media is just so powerful. Somebody can post something and they can be in a good mood. Somebody can hop on Facebook or something like that and just read like whatever the issue, something negative, and you're like, "Fuck, dude! Like I really wish I didn't see that." You know what I'm saying?
Have
like,
you seen the? Yeah, you guys have Twitter. Have you seen the Caitlyn Bennett, the gun girl?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, that is the funniest shit ever.
Who is this?
So this girl, maybe like a few years ago, she graduated from Kent State University. With in like her graduation photo, she had like an AR-15.
Yeah.
And like holding it.
And she got like ripped apart.
So she started this whole like YouTube channel of like it's basically it's all hate.
Yeah.
It's all hate. She's a very conservative girl who literally will go to campuses and just like it's to the point like she pokes at people to get a react. Like she's so negative where like she'll go up to people and like instantly just like rip them about their like opinion about abortion or whatever, But my favorite thing about it is when people like
react to it.
Yeah. Because there's a rumor that she shit her pants at a frat party.
I've seen that video.
So like literally like she was just at I think like Ohio State or something, and literally like I'd say 100 people like surrounded her and were like throwing like toilet paper at her and like throwing coffee at like it's unreal. Like, but like she goes around and like and then she plays the victim.
Yeah.
But that's the content I like to see. Yeah. If it's like that, I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
I wonder though, like how much of that like is her actual believing that, or how much of that is she's playing into the character that's like going viral. You know what I mean? Like,
Still, whatever it is, it's working.
Yeah. Oh, it's 100% because she pops up on Twitter all the time.
All the time.
I see her at least once a day, and it's wild.
And the thing is, you can't look away because there's always somebody like, "Aren't you the girl that shit her pants?"
Well, and she got ripped apart, or they tried to rip her apart on Logan Paul's podcast.
Yeah.
The main guy who runs it, who you think would be Logan, but it's not, it's his buddy.
Yeah.
He was just like drilling her full of questions, like just trying to. They brought her on as a guest and then tried to rip her apart. And I was kind of like, that's kind of bullshit. Why would you?
Logan Paul's?
Yeah.
On Impulsive?
Yeah. They deleted the episode.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Logan ended up going on one of his podcasts. He's like, this is one of the most embarrassing episodes I've ever had. I'm deleting it right now. And like on his podcast, went into his like archives and like deleted the episode.
Wow.
Why was it embarrassed? Like he was embarrassed that they were grilling her, or he was embarrassed that they had her.
They were
on?
embarrassed to have her on there. That's and it's kind of a weird thing because like at that point, because I've seen her do exactly what Shane's talking about, but then I've seen her just do nothing. Like on Logan's podcast, she went on there thinking they were going to talk about just like normal shit, like shoot the shit with the boys is what she thought. And then like it quickly turned into this thing where
Just
it was like
her.
they used her, basically her name, because she was really popular at the time. They used it to kind of like try and spike relevance and stuff.
Yeah, I have no problem. If you want to voice your opinion, I'll
Sure,
go
whatever.
ahead. My least favorite thing though is like when you're like talking about a situation like that and you try to say your opinion, but then they just keep talking over you, and you can't say your opinion.
I hate that.
Then it's like, okay, just chill, like listen, but like like I'm all for the healthy debate.
And you know what? I've always been like I don't give a shit kind of guy. I've always been the like whatever you want to think, however you want to believe, whatever you like. It doesn't. I don't care, dude. It doesn't affect me.
Exactly. Like, I have my personal.
You want to? You're a girl. You want to carry around an AR-15? Carry around an AR-15. Just don't point it at me and shoot me or my family. Like I don't fucking give a shit. If you know your rights, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not like. Why would I? That's not my world.
The problem is that we're in like a time in like where everyone's attention span is so short that like everyone's trying to get like a soundbite where that's the clip that's going to go viral, and nobody's going to tune in for a full debate really. But then there's things like Rogan's podcast where like he talks for like 3 hours and they don't scream at each other, but I don't know. It's either like super long attention span or like a super short attention span. There's nothing like in the middle.
Yeah, there's no, you know what I mean. But I'm a mixture of both because there's times where I'll listen to a whole podcast all the way through, like a 2-hour podcast, 3-hour podcast, and there's times where I'll listen to 15 minutes of it. You know what I mean?
Even 15 minutes is a long time though. Nowadays, you know what I mean?
So
Like,
what would you
Rogan cuts his up on YouTube,
and
like has like certain little like,
clips.
We cut ours up now too.
Dan,
try to.
What was the one with Dan? The one with Dan Bilzerian was what, like 3 hours or something?
He's got a couple.
They're all usually like 3 hours.
And
The one with him and Elon was
up because I swear to God it was just raw and they sat through the
No,
whole time.
they-
And I'm sitting there thinking,
Well, no, he posts the raw video, but then he also chops up little clips.
okay, because I was like, do homies not have to pee at all? Like I'd have to get up and piss at one point, one time. You know, I don't know.
dude. You know the worst thing is when you're podcasting and you have to take a shit.
Yeah,
That's the worst.
Yeah, because Jeremy takes like
There
2
was
hours.
one time we interviewed somebody for Dutch Bros,
worst for me.
and it was a phone call interview, and I had a cold, and like I could not stop coughing, and like bro, like I had to like secretly like leave the room while the other co-host was like talking, and I was outside just
just dying.
oh my gosh, it's the worst.
Oh man,
They're just like, man, that Shane guy was really nice.
he's really
I'm
quiet.
silent for like 15 seconds, and then
He's a good listener.
when I was hosting the podcast, I never would listen to the episodes. I'm just like, I was there. I don't need to listen to it. But I always you realize when you're going back there, like how many times you say or yeah.
Oh, dude, I go yeah.
The worst is we had a running joke because like when someone's talking, you'll just hear me go, yeah, oh, yeah, oh.
Well, it's tough because you like want to stay engaged. Like you want to.
I have to do that. So
I'm
like,
weird.
When somebody's talking to me, especially if it's like just James and I in here, like something like that, I have to be like, yeah, like every like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, totally, yeah. Like I have to. Like, I don't know if I have like fucking ADHD or something, but I don't. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Who fucking knows? But like, I literally like to stay like really engaged in the conversation. Like, I have to like be like, yeah.
And see, I'm awkward because I just won't say a goddamn thing. Like with our episode with Dean, I was just so intently listening to Dean.
You're like, oh man,
I literally was like,
Is Dean the Australian
moved
guy?
Dean is we just had him on the last podcast.
The big dude, yeah.
Super cool guy. Like really
Part
nice.
of-
He's
Who's that Australian guy you had on, or like going?
Johnny Starr or a different guy. We want to have him
the
on.
long haired dude. You guys just you were talking.
Oh, Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan?
yeah,
Yeah, Jonathan.
What a voice.
So Jonathan has
Dude, he's got
What
a
a
voice
voice.
built for a fucking.
Jonathan.
I was like, whoa.
Facing an epidemic.
Shout out to Jonathan. Voice just erodes
Yeah, great voice.
testosterone. Erodes? Is that a thing?
yep.
I don't know if it erodes.
Yeah, that's not the right. That's not the
think
right
that's
word.
correct usage there, bro.
I'd take another shot for saying that incorrectly.
He's already had too many. That's why.
Dude, no, literally.
That's a
I
penalty
got
shot.
So this was full, obviously, when I bought it because you buy things and they're full. But I got a little fuckered up last night. So my thing was I was going to do a shot every 10 minutes for content and because I'm an alcoholic. But like, so anyways,
You're like, you're behind.
well, sometimes we're like 2 hours in. So that'd be like 12.
That's a lot of shots.
12 shots?
Still a lot of shots.
12 shots, a shot every 10 minutes. Yep.
And then you can't go pee either.
Yeah.
See how many shots you can take without having to go pee.
You know, the thing is actually no. When you drink alcohol, you have to pee more. Is that what it is? Because I feel okay. So it's like the next day I'm dehydrated. I don't have to pee. But in the moment,
feel amazing.
So when you're drinking, you have to pee a lot though. Like when you do, because your body's just pissing.
I feel
out.
really good the next day after drinking a little bit of liquor.
Yeah,
Except for if you get punched in the face the night before, then you don't feel so good. The next
dude,
day.
totally like
Got punched in the face.
Yeah,
Well, that wasn't when we went to LA. That was the last time Jeremy had some Tito's.
Yeah, that was my fault. I'm gonna take full blame for that.
No, my bad.
No, I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna take full blame for it because of who caused it. That's I'm gonna take blame for that one.
Jeremy needs to take responsibility for chugging half a bottle of.
He did get you did. Dude,
Tito's.
honestly, if anybody here should be sponsored by Tito's,
Listen,
should be this guy over here.
I'm a heavy drinker when I drink. Anyways,
Oh,
I just
look
want
at you guys. You're built like a fucking tank.
I just want to put it out there that I'm never
I'm like the most unfit person you've ever had on this show.
I'm never ever gonna do that ever again. That's a lie.
We'll talk.
I was the most
We'll talk
unfit
about
person
that.
you've
We'll
had
talk.
on.
We've
We'll
probably
talk.
had somebody.
No, we've
No.
I don't think so.
Dude, I'm honestly to
I'm
be
pretty active, you know.
I mean,
You're not unfit though.
Yeah.
I don't consider you unfit.
Shane, what do you?
It's all relative.
What do you talk about? Talk about. We'll touch on that a little bit. We'll talk about fitness. Fitness for you. What do you like? What do you like about working out? What's like? Is it hard for you to stay with it? What's
you a
what's
fitness
hard?
guy?
Just talk about it. Like, what
Kinda.
Do you even enjoy it? That's,
Do you
that's
enjoy-
a
yeah.
do you,
well,
enjoy?
Well,
Yeah,
You're like-
I do.
about to shame him.
No, he does. No. I'm not trying to shame him. He enjoys
Trying to
working
shame
out.
him.
And Shane's a fucking athlete. Anybody who doesn't know, by the way, Shane can fucking ball. He can play basketball.
I try. I dabble.
Hella good. His knees are a little shot, but it's
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So I have no cartilage in my left knee. I had 2 knee surgeries.
It's been that way for how long?
Going into high school, I blew my knee out.
Yeah.
And so my freshman year, I wasn't allowed to do sports or anything like that because what had happened is summer basketball. I tried taking a charge, and homie at the last second went to my left, and we hit knees. Oh. And at first, I was like, oh, like ow, like bruised knee, whatever. Played the game. The next couple days later, we had practice, and that shit swelled up. And I was like, oh, wow. It felt so heavy. I got an x-ray, showed that there's a tear, got MRI. There was a giant chunk of cartilage that got torn off, and then there was a bigger piece of cartilage hanging on by a thread. So they went in, they opened up my knee, took out the dead piece, put a pin in the piece that was hanging out, 27 staples. I went 3 months in a leg brace, and I was bedridden, wasn't allowed to do anything that summer. I remember the day I went to Safeway and I jolted my knee, my crutches slipped out, and I jolted it, And then a few days later, it just started swelling up again.
Oh, you retore it?
Yeah, retore it. The pin didn't hold it; it broke, and so they just went in again arthroscopically here, and here, and just removed it.
Was that 8th grade?
Yeah, it was like freshman, like 8th grade going into freshman, like that summer.
Damn, bro.
And so this is my knee looks like right now, but like over time, there's a tissue that grows. And so it kind of looks like this.
Yeah.
So like this kind of serves as like a new cartilage, but that shit's all busted up anyways.
Still balls though.
I still, and then this one's in kind of, I think I might have a torn meniscus. I don't know.
Well, that one's probably trying to overcompensate for that one.
You know, I always take like the summer off from like playing a lot.
Yeah.
And then by the time like August, September, October, and all that comes around, like I feel great. And then right around December, January, it's like, oh boy, here it comes.
Starts getting tight again.
I know that this isn't gonna like completely like solve everything, but do you take anything for it that like that helps? Like basic ass shit. Do you take like a fish oil or a glucosamine or anything like that for your joints?
Yeah, I take a fish oil every now and then. I could be better at it.
Yeah. I mean, that's just like standard, but I mean, like, I didn't know if you took something stronger too.
No, nothing too crazy. But so that's one of the main reasons why I like working out. Like, is on top of that, you know, I do basketball for City League, but I also coach with Jameson.
Okay,
shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
So like I work 9 to 5, and then afterwards I coach basketball, and then like I'll have my own game. So like by the time I get to the gym, it'll be like kind of later on and stuff. So, but my body is just like it hurts.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's what kind of wears me down. But yeah, I do like I do what I like about working out is like I can just unplug, throw my AirPods in. And just like do my shit. Like I'm in my own world for like a tiny bit. Like
some you time.
Dude, that's the biggest thing. That's like
I'll go on like the treadmill and I'll like start walking, and then I'll start running, and then I'll just be like listening to a podcast or just going, and then shit like 2-3 miles later I'm like, oh whoa, that time just gone by, you know. But I do enjoy it. It's cool.
I think it's a good outlet for a lot of people too. I think it's not just like necessarily like, oh, you look like shit, you should work out. I think it's just good for people's heads. You know what I mean? Like, I love to go to the gym because it's just good for my head.
It's therapeutic.
You know? Yeah. But yeah, no, for sure. Like, because I know, like, and the big thing too is, you know, like, I know, like, one thing, like, is like we always talk about like fucking it's working out's fun and stuff like that, but like nutrition's huge. It's like and then nobody wants to do that shit. Like nobody wants to like actually like meal prep or like eat, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where the results really are. But like you genuinely enjoy fitness, like, you know, I know you do.
And I think if there's anything, nutrition's probably my worst fucking thing.
Dude, that's everybody's.
Because like I'll be doing great, and then for a while I was traveling a lot for work.
Yeah,
and so like on the road, like you get on the plane, you land, and like you're there for like a couple days. You're living in a hotel.
Yeah,
and it's like fuck, I don't have anything. Like,
right.
Travel's the worst. Literally, it's like so difficult to like because you don't realize how shitty like airport food. Like there's nothing good at an airport usually.
My dad,
and if it is, it's like $40 for like it's a sandwich like this.
100%. And you'll spend so much money. Like my dad, prime example. That's something like we could talk about too, is like alternatives for like being on the road and like trying to like eat healthy and stuff like that. Cause that's fucking tough, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? For sure. But like my dad, for example, so like he gets really frustrated because he's, you know, well, he's got his like shoulder issues. Like he had a complete rotator cuff, I think reconstructive surgery. But his shoulders
he couldn't lift his arm for
can't even like lift. Like it's bad. Like if it's just really bad. But like so he's not really like he lifts here and there, but he mostly is like does cardio and stuff like that. Like throughout his whole life, he was just like a long distance runner. But specifically being on the road like he used to be all the time, that was the biggest thing, dude. He eats like, you know what I mean? He either won't eat or he'll eat like shit.
Yeah.
And he'll come home and he's like, I fucking gained like all this weight, or I feel like shit, you know, like, and it's just.
Dude, last summer there was a span of like 3 months where I was like gone, like every other week, like every 2 weeks I was out. I was like, I would fly down because DB we have our own private planes and stuff, so I'd go. We go to like Phoenix or Sacramento or Denver or Portland.
Shout out, sponsored by Tito's.
Oh my goodness, it's 11.
Hey, it's all right. Anyways, continue.
But like, so like, literally, like, it'd be okay, we're gone, and then I come home, A week later, all right, we're back on the flight. All right, we come back. And so it was like the wear and tear of like being in the air and everything. But now where I have all this time, I've been with my new thing, I don't travel as much, so I can focus on doing these like extra things. So like my goal is by this summer I want to lose at least 25 to 30 pounds.
Totally.
What are you weighing in at right now?
I think 260.
Cool.
265. And
Nice.
so like
You're 6'3"? Like 6'3"?
yeah, 6'3".
You guys are so tall. I wish I was taller.
So from that though,
You're like 6.
I've already lost like 5 pounds though.
Hey.
So
A lot of it's just, you know what I mean? Like a lot of it too, like is
repetition and diet. And
dude, that's the name of the game. Even if it's the thing is too, is it's like it doesn't even have to be like that crazy. You know, I mean, what we've talked about before is like people. You know, sometimes people starting, you know, like will start a diet and it's too extreme at first, or it's like they didn't really ease their body into it, and so they'll get burnt out really quick. Or
Like
maybe it's
crash
not. You know,
diet.
like you'll crash. I've done that. I still do that sometimes.
done it too.
You're doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now.
Fucking Tito's.
Hey, I do
much
this
for that diet
I
for
do
the
this
Arnold,
for
huh?
I do this for you guys. I do this for the
Thanks.
content.
Tito's for the Guidos.
I drink so you guys don't have to.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah.
Some heroes drink Tito's.
Jesus died for our sins. I drink for
my boys.
What?
For my boys.
Yeah, I don't know what
That's
that
a shirt.
That's a. I don't know. I thought I had a good shirt idea there. I don't know if that's a good one.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but anyways,
We'll save that one. Put that one back.
I like your shoes, by the way.
Thank you. These are-
I know. I've been looking at them.
I've been looking at your shoes this whole time. Like Shane, tell everyone how many pairs of shoes you have.
I'm
Fuck.
kind of a shoe guy.
You buy
Bit of
from,
a sneak
you buy
ahead.
from Sunset.
I haven't. I don't really. I try not to buy from like. I don't know. It's hard. Shoes are addicting, but these are the Travis Scott low Air Force One.
Dude, I have
Sorry,
like
the Jordan ones. Yeah.
that's something that I'm really surprised. Like I've never fallen into is like the shoe game. Like, cause I love clothes and stuff like that. But like shoes, I'm like, I have like I have like my Vans and my Converse and I like that.
All my
That's
shoes
all I like.
are hand-me-downs or gifts. I don't buy
yeah.
these Christmas gifts.
Dude, that's my shit right there. I love my white Converse. I have my black ones too, but I like my low top.
I
Converse,
probably
that's-
have maybe close to 80 something pairs.
Good
Jesus. What's the most you've spent on a pair of shoes?
The most? Well, I mean, I wouldn't count. Like, I got these as a gift.
It's the most expensive set of shoes you have.
I'm wearing these ones.
These
right
ones?
here. These ones can be resold for like almost $1,000.
Holy! What are these? I don't even know.
Travis Scott's Jordan 1 lows.
Holy shit! Oh, those are the ones you were talking about with
Yeah,
Tyler.
so like I got these as a gift though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit!
But like the
crazy.
resale value on these are there's a high top version that can be sold for like $1,500, $1,600.
$1,500. I would. I'm a high top guy. I like
Watch, I get just mugged on this.
They're just gonna take you.
But personally, probably like I don't know, 230, 240.
Crazy.
Well, it's cool that you're actually wearing them because I see like a lot of the shoe guys that I know, like they never wear their shit. They just have them in boxes. And it's like,
wrap them in plastic.
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
to think when it comes to an outfit, you can rock anything. You can wear a fucking garbage bag, but
Right.
if you wear like dope ass shoes,
Yeah.
it's like he's onto something I just don't know yet.
Those are sick, dude. Yeah, no, for
Thanks,
sure.
I just changed the pink laces. Yeah.
I used to have pink laces. I used to. Jesus Christ.
I used to have black globes.
Dude,
have-
the globes and
they
like
wear-
Osiris's.
They weigh like 5 pounds.
Yeah, they were like all. Though I tell you what, though, like if
were
you're
comfy.
when you're a skater and you're wearing
yeah.
globes, those shoes last so long.
No, they do.
I was thinking about like the style because going through the server, I look at everything like in history of Dutch Bros and like the early like the mid to late 2000s, like style back then. I try to think about like even on my own Facebook, I was like, what you fucking dweeb? Like why would I wear that?
I know.
I was just doing that the other day. I was going through like like Facebook, and not Facebook. I think I was going through Instagram story like archives, like,
JD
and it goes back like 2 years or some shit. Even 2 years ago, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I'll see like somebody in my story. I'm like, "What the fuck is that guy wearing?" Like,
No, I remember, dude, in high school,
My pants just got tighter. It's all
I had these pair. Do you remember I had these white white denim shorts.
oh, that's
They were
fucking
white
glorious.
denim, and they were like
What grade?
high school. I wore them all the time, like every year. And bro, they were. I
remember you were really into Obey. I remember you loved those Obey shirts.
Dude, man, these shorts were like 5 pounds, like hanging from my leg.
Oh,
They're
dude, like
so
some
baggy.
Were they just
Pole
oversized?
shorts,
Like, they were dope shorts. Like they weren't baggy, but they were so heavy.
Dude.
And I would rock them with like black calf highs. And I was like, "What's up?" Like,
I used
I was
to.
like, and like a tank top and a fucking like flat build like
Bro, that was what was
swag hat. I was like, dude, I was in my head. I was like, I am peak fashion right now.
No, yeah, it's fashion. It's fashion. Giordani talked about that, and he's like, dude, I've had frosted tips. I've had my hair
tips back in the day.
bleached. He's like, I've rocked. You know what I mean? Like all these different styles. Like it's just fashion. It's just if you're into fashion, you know what I'm saying? Like then you'll look back at. I mean, I've looked back at pictures of myself, and I'm like, what? Like, what was I wearing?
I used
Those
to,
pants are too loose. Just
back in
There's not a bulge in those pants.
there's no bulge. Yeah.
back in like 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, I would wear like these huge black pair of South Pole jeans with like graffiti down the side, and I'd have like it was like the South Pole logo with like green neon graffiti dripping down, and
Yes.
and I had like Osiris's on, and I would wear like
So hard.
Did you straight iron your hair too?
Sean John shirts. I did actually.
No, you didn't.
I would straighten my hair so I'd look like this.
Oh my God.
It was.
I fucking straightened my hair.
I'm
one time.
secondhand embarrassed for you right now.
Well, so check this out. So here's all the fucking weird
shit.
things that I've gone through. I used to have like this kind of like emo. I had this like emo phase where I would wear like nothing but these like big, thick, like all black Empire jackets with like the furry hoods, and then I would wear. I had these. I love these gloves. I had fingerless gloves with the Slipknot logo on the top part. So I had Slipknot gloves, and I would pair those gloves and that black Empire jacket with a studded bracelet. All came from Hot Topic or Spencer's, which was my favorite stores. And then I would wear a fox beanie backwards but tilted to the right with the lip. Oh. And then I had black skinny jeans with purple hem and my black globes that I'm talking about with bright pink shoelaces.
We need photos, dude.
Hey,
like,
man,
I need to see photos.
I'm already kind of pissed off here.
I need photos, man.
I think a big thing that influences a lot of people's styles too is their music. I think like the music.
What were you listening
At
to?
that point in time, it was a lot of My Chemical Romance.
Yup. My Chemical Romance.
I was watching Viva La Bam and My Chemical Romance.
Yup.
It all makes sense
I
now.
had the beanie with the bill because Bam was
Yeah,
there. I had an Element patch.
Dude, I ended up getting an Element beanie too.
A
And
Volcom.
I used to actually-
beanie that had the little bill on the
Yep.
side.
Yeah.
I wore it all the time. I'd wear it like this.
It's weird.
I'd wear
How,
it like this,
I remember
like
having that
backwards.
too. I was like, I wanted one of those so bad. I was like, I forget who I saw wearing one. I was
I think
like, oh, I fucking want one.
Bam was the big
And
one.
you have to tilt it to the side.
And now you just see like weird middle-aged moms who wear like the weird like purple string tank tops underneath their small shirts wearing.
Yeah. I wonder like what people who like my sometimes I'll be rock. So like lately I've been kind of like going back like well obviously my hairline's going back a little bit so I've been kind of rocking like fucking bandanas and like headbands and shit like that and
I have a red one if you want it.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
All right. Those are my colors, baby. But no. So I'll rock like bandanas and stuff like that and I'm like this is like kind of like almost like Lost Boys, like almost like 80s fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like look.
It's coming back.
And
That's
I
why
always
you and
wonder like
Jonathan
if
get
my
along,
parents like Jonathan's got some stuff. So
Jonathan-
Jonathan's got me on the Saint.
He's got that steez.
You know what he's got me on right now is that Saint Tropez self tanner. I think is what it is. I used that the other day.
Sounds like a Post Malone song.
It's a Saint Tropez.
You have?
Tropez.
Saint Tropez.
Wait, you've already used it?
Yeah, it's kind of I
Can't you tell how bronze
I did
he is?
I did a super light coat on it, but it was a few days ago. But no, dude, that shit's fire though. It like
I don't know.
yeah.
I can't tell.
Okay, all right. It's a little faded. Like, look at me.
Look how bronze I am. Look at me.
No, but I always wonder if my parents like look at me like with this like
disgust,
and they're just like, "Damn, he's trying to bring that style back, huh?" Pants are a little tight, but whatever. I don't know.
Hey, what do
At
you
least you're not wearing
what do your
South
parents
Pole
think about your
jeans.
pants?
You know,
I know your dad doesn't approve.
no, you know what? I think
They don't.
if he thinks anything of it, no, my dad's not judged. My dad's cool as fuck, dude.
He's really cool. I like
Honestly, my dad's cool as fuck. I honestly
He's
think I
funny.
could fucking walk into the house wearing a dress, and my dad wouldn't even. He'd be like, maybe he'd have some thoughts about that, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't say.
He
it
might
to me,
question
though.
that a little.
You know,
bit.
what
You'd
I'm
probably
saying?
actually laugh.
That's a little extreme.
He
But
seems
like
like-
he'd be like, he doesn't ever like make fun of anything I wear or like anything like that. I don't know. He's not judgmental.
That's good.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, maybe does he think my pants are tight? Probably. But I don't know. But my dad's also like the complete opposite of me when it comes to like fashion and stuff like that. Like he doesn't give a fuck like what he wears.
My
Like
mom,
you know,
my
like,
mom will call me out. And she's like, "Yeah, I don't like that." I'm like,
at least that's
I've
honest.
been wearing this all day, so thank you.
Yeah.
You could have said this earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Becky, dude. I should keep it real with
My
you.
mom's real as a kid.
My dad won't say shit. My dad dresses like me, except for
He's like
the-
he dresses like
My dad-
he's the bigger version of
He is. My dad wears the same shit I wear. I give him my clothes.
Yeah.
So every time he comes down to visit, I'm like, "Hey man, I happen to have 2 pairs of like gunsmith shorts that are the exact same. Have a pair. I have 3 pairs of the same gunsmith shirt. Have
Yeah.
one. I have 2 of the same hats. So then he'll show up wearing the same outfit as me."
That's fucking dope. I
It's
wish
really-
my dad wore
Dude,
shit
last
that I would
last
wear.
time I saw him, he showed up wearing like a royal blue LA like Nike dry fit shirt with a LA was like white,
Yeah.
and he was wearing my Strength Cartel all blue, royal blue hat with the SC right here.
He's
And I was like,
all in his
damn.
colors.
I
He's
was
a
like-
real one.
And he was wearing like, and he had his Chucks on with his ankle socks. I was like, damn, bro. I wanna fuck-
Please tell me he wears the black jeans with the green graffiti still.
No, he doesn't. That was me. Those were my pants.
I know, but
My dad used to wear
and
my
a
dad
wife beater.
Listen, my dad's a big time supporter, so he, regardless of whatever clothes I wanted to wear, he always supported me. But he, I forgot to tell you guys, with the studded bracelet, I had the studded belt I wore with it. So
You had the
wear
matching
that
set?
to school.
yeah,
Did they make you like flip it inside out?
yeah. Actually, sometimes depending on
And
who
you
the
still wore it.
depending on who the security guard was, I sometimes wouldn't be able to even wear it at all.
certain people's classrooms, like you can't wear hats and shit. And I remember like sometimes like I'd come to school and,
Hats off, hoods off. Why?
hoods off. I'm like,
Why
why?
can't I have a hoodie?
Fuck off.
I love.
That's what I wanted to say.
You're messing with the style right now.
Do you remember the? Do you guys remember? You guys
Come on,
remember
yeah,
the
my head
hoodies with
sucks,
the
man.
headphones in the hood, and everyone would just wear their hood, and everyone could hear their music. It would be
was
like
it? Dude,
Blink 182.
oh my gosh. There was I cannot remember who it was, but I remember there was a kid. Maybe you can help me think of it. It doesn't even matter. But there was a kid who would run his headphones under through his sleeve.
Yeah, I used to
and
do
he'd
that
go
too.
like this, and he'd literally like go like he'd go like, do you know what I'm talking about?
The struggle for music.
You know,
I remember.
you
doing
know
that
what I
too.
mean though. Yeah, yeah. There was a
Oh
kid
hell
that-
yeah, it works.
There was like a certain kid that would do it all the time. And I remember thinking, I was like, that is the funniest shit ever. Like,
Yeah, if you have, especially
Low
if
key
you have-
jealous though, right? You're like,
I
damn
love
it.
it.
Well,
dude.
if you have
Damn,
like,
bro.
if you have those zip ups that have the thumb hole, you just put the thumb hole on, and then you have a little headphone like this. Yeah, because I did this anyway, so I might as well add a headphone to it.
Yeah.
And then I had like a hidden pocket that my iPod would go in.
yeah.
And just be listening to Rise Against. While my teacher's talking.
Just angry.
Paper away.
Just angry, not doing any work.
Just forgotten. Dude, hell. Guitar Hero.
Good time.
Did everybody play
Wesley
guitar?
and I, we actually go back.
Yeah.
It's in middle school. We've been homies.
Shane's my best friend.
I hated Wesley because
I could see that.
I transferred out to
You either love me or you hate me.
I lived in town for a while. I had a house out in Maryland. Then when we renovated it after my dad passed, we moved back out there, and I transferred from North Middle School to Fleming, and like I knew a couple people and stuff, but he always I have a problem when I eat sandwiches. When the lettuce always falls out of my mouth for some reason.
Oh,
and
no. Oh, no.
he used to make fun of me.
It was Joey. But I chimed in.
Yeah, and I was
would
like,
chirp
these guys
in.
just talk so much shit to me. I don't even know who they are.
So
I'm
I had an
new.
issue. So I had an issue with Shane. And it was about a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
It was about
it's
a-
always about a girl.
It's always about a friggin' girl.
There's a new dog barking at his.
There was a new kid in town, but yeah, a new bad boy, and it was
literally
about.
had no idea who he was.
It was he had no idea.
At
But
basketball games, he would throw like fucking Skittles.
I
at
threw
me.
Skittles at you.
I was like, I'd be like sitting there, and then I just get hit, and I'd turn around, and he'd be like, "Who?" I'm like, dude, I know
wasn't
it's
me.
you. I know it's you. You're the only one with a bag of Skittles in your hand.
I'm literally two sets of.
So many Skittles.
I have 9 bags of Skittles. I'm like, oh, what?
Who did that?
What? Which one of y'all dead motherfuckers? Yeah, but no, it was about a girl. I was jealous. You know, new guy came in, stealing the spotlight. Okay, you know.
That happened to me. I was in Shane's position once. We'll get to that one. soon.
Yeah, no, it was just a Derek Zoolander Hansel situation.
There
can only be one.
We had a computers class together, and we sat next to each other.
7th grade.
Yeah.
8th grade.
7th and 8th grade.
7th and 8th grade. Yeah.
And then we been besties ever since.
I still remember. It's so funny because I still remember very vividly how we became friends, and it was a Man in a Box. It was, remember we watched that
Alice in
video.
Chains.
It was
Great song.
Man in a Box. It was Man in a Box, and then there was the
Black
song
Eyed
that
Peas.
"Don't Break My Heart, My
Is
Achy Breaky
that-
Heart."
but I
And
remember.
Billy Ray
I'll
Cyrus.
never forget. It was when Black Eyed Peas came out with
I'm a bee.
Yeah, I'm a
bee.
It was
I'm
one
a
of those
bee.
songs
It was like one
that,
of those
revamp-
hits.
It was like
I'm
their
a bee,
new.
bee,
It was like their
yeah.
new like style.
Yeah.
They went from like kind of urban to like futuristic for a
Yeah.
while.
That was
Hated
like
that.
super dope,
Yeah.
and is
It was
still
great.
kind of hella
And
sick.
I'll never,
I liked
I'll never
my
forget
home.
because he was like, "Dude, listen to the song," and I was like, "Dude, this is what?" They're not-
Yeah.
I was like, "This sucks.
This is
And
terrible.
I was like, this is absolutely terrible," and it becomes one of the biggest albums in
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
But that's how we became friends.
And the
And
Black Eyed Peas brought you together.
Yeah, Black Eyed Peas.
Shout out to the Black Eyed Peas.
We because our teacher was super cool, and he would just let us do whatever we'd want. Because like
how my weight training
'cause
teacher was.
it's a class where like you'd make like video games. It's like coding and stuff. So he and I like we just gelled like that, and like we'd finish early, and like we just watch
Yeah.
YouTube videos.
We would that was actually a really cool class. Did you guys ever take like a computer class or like any like we just had the coolest teacher ever. His name was Mr. Poole, and he would let us just like we'd literally make video games. Like not to like a very extensive like very well like the graphics weren't like super crazy, but we'd like literally
Make
like,
computer
like shit like almost like on the level of like well it would get
like
it would get crazier, but
You'd
like
watch a video of him doing it,
Yeah.
and then you copy everything
Yeah.
that he did.
yeah,
But
it was
then
really
you
cool.
can
It was
do
like
whatever, but you can put your own twist on it. Like I
That's
made a
wild.
video game where I made an extra level. Like I was coding.
yeah,
at,
we were
like-
doing coding
That's
like
crazy.
I
7th
was like
grade.
coding at 13 years old, and I created a whole video game.
Yeah, that's wild.
Gosh dang, I really wish
Definitely
Now
didn't have that.
I can hardly like connect to a printer now.
yeah.
Trying to figure out airdrop. What the fuck?
Why does it say paper jam when there is no paper jam? Kick this piece of shit out the window. Yeah. So that's the story.
I was a new
It's
kid.
beautiful.
When I moved to Grants Pass, I had moved here from where was I living in Washington?
Yeah.
And so I moved here and went to high school. I only knew one person, and he was a senior. I knew one guy, and he was my uncle / friend because he wasn't much older than me. And so I was the new kid. I was 220-pound freshman, like 6 foot tall, like big kid, good hairline. People were like, "Who the fuck is this motherfucker?"
Yeah.
And so these
You go to
kids,
Grants Pass?
yeah, I went to Grants Pass. And so a bunch of these people who kind of became like acquaintances of mine, who they never found out that I knew this, but they had all like grouped together and wanted to jump me after school because they were like,
They saw your
from what I heard,
saw
was
your
graffiti
jeans,
It's because they
wanted the globes, man.
high school was different. High school, I used to wear Volcom skinny jeans with like Nike high tops and like big shirts.
I just imagine those kids seeing you walk down the hall like, we need to kick the fuck out of that guy.
Like, fuck that kid.
But
Beat
yeah,
this kid's ass.
but listen, I must have been some type of badass because for a bunch of kids to say, "Hey, we got to gang up to beat this motherfucker's ass," and they never did it because they're pussies. But
I don't know what I'd do if
You're getting jumped into the high school.
Yeah, I don't know what I do. I'm like this.
They'd try. I know them. I would have whooped their ass.
High school's crazy. Like high school's like insane. Like when you're literally just like your hormones are absolutely. Like I remember I tried to fight Cody Toller freshman year. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And he was like your size. He was like way bigger than me.
like,
I didn't give a fuck.
I was
dude.
like, man.
I was like,
I'll support you, but I'm not getting it.
like, was I probably gonna lose that fight? Probably.
Yeah.
I
like,
boxed. I boxed this senior Drake Brennan, and he.
I know Drake.
Yeah, I boxed this guy Drake when I was like a freshman, and if you know Drake's like 7 feet tall, and in high school he was like 200 something pounds, and I was like,
isn't he a cop now?
Yeah,
he's a cop now. And I boxed him because like for some reason I don't know how it happened, but word had gotten around that I whooped people's ass in boxing, which was true, but
You started it, didn't you?
no.
You started this rumor.
So someone came, so
it was like never back down, dude.
Yeah, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. That's
You
me.
gotta take out the best motherfucker.
So word had gotten around, and so I always had like bigger guys come up to me saying, "Hey, I heard you box. Let's box." I always was like, yeah, "Absolutely, I would love that. Let's do it." I'm like, my schedule is completely free after school. We'll meet at my buddy Joel's house in his front yard, which is where it went down. And so, anyways, Drake showed up, and Drake whooped my ass the first round, and then I fucking whooped his
He had
ass.
the reach, man.
That reach is intense.
So what happened was, I had to take a couple of blows to the face before I learned kind of how sloppy he was. And then in the second round, I hit him with a jab, and then I hit him with a jab again, and then I hit him with a third jab, which he dropped his head, and I uppercutted him right in his mouth, and it busted his mouth open, and he said, "Okay, I'm done." And I was like, "Oh, I won! Fuck you! I'm not even bleeding."
I remember there was a group of people. They're still on YouTube, probably. Where like.
Is it the French dudes?
No. It was from high school. People would go to the all sports park and just fight, like box. And it was like
Curtis Neal, Curtis
Jeremiah,
Roberts,
like all those guys. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't understand how I could do that and then go home like it's a normal
it'd be
day.
cool.
Like, dude, like my face is all busted. Like, how do you explain that to me?
I never have.
Plus, it's not fun to get punched in the face. Like, I don't care.
Getting hit in the face is not
It's cool to like maybe it's cool to beat somebody's ass, but it's not cool to get hit.
I don't even feel good. Sometimes I don't even feel good about that. I knocked a dude out one time and I felt horrible.
Really? I love it.
Yeah, I felt like,
scary,
the next day I was kind of like, dude, I don't feel good.
Really?
About it.
Well,
It just depends.
You could kill somebody.
Yeah.
Now. Or you could get
It's the
sued.
name of the game.
It's a different it totally is like it's a different like era. It's the name of the game. It's a different era we live in now. You do something like that and it's like you can go to fucking jail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Like, you know, like
Somebody was like, you want to box? I'm like, no.
Yeah, back when I was in high school, which is funny because we're all like close to the same age. Yeah. Back when I was in high school, all of my friends and people I knew, we would all meet like in the back of the apartments or at my buddy's Joel house or all sports park, and we'd all bring. I had all the stuff, so I'd bring like gloves. If you were a bitch, then we would bring like headgear for you. And
If you were a
bitch.
if you were smart.
if Hughes was a bitch, and
I'm
God
not trying to
forbid,
get CTE over here, bro.
God forbid you go up against me when you have headgear on. I'm gonna hit you as hard as I possibly can. And I'm like, extra protection, extra power.
I take one hand, like, I'm done.
cut.
See, that makes no sense. That makes no sense to me. Like, why would you voluntarily let's go in the back?
It's just like a
backyard. No, I'm not trying to get fucking brain damage, bro.
I love that. I'm a combat guy.
Well, that explains a lot now.
When I bonk my head,
This man's
on
been hit in the
things,
face too many
hard
times.
surface-
That's why that dude couldn't even stumble me.
When I bonk my head, I get teary-eyed. I'm like, ow. I'm like,
Dude, I'll never forget how I knew that like I wasn't probably gonna be like the kid that like went and fought in like backyards and stuff like that. Was I had a conversation with my dad when I was probably like 15 years old, and I remember like he's like, "Have you ever been hit in the face before?" And at the time I hadn't. I was like, "No." I was like, no. He's like, yeah. So that would have been that. This was probably the moment where this could have gone one of two different ways. Either I was going to be able to be like it's almost like hey, did your dad teach you how to work on a car or did he not? Kind of a similar thing.
That's why I
did
didn't
one like this. So my dad goes, so he's like, have you ever been hit in the face before? And I was like, no, I haven't. He's like, it hurts. He's like, doesn't feel very good. Doesn't feel very good, Wes. And so now I am the man that I am, today. Have I been hit in the face before? Yeah.
I never got asked.
And he was right.
He was right. It fucking hurts, dude.
I never got asked. So my dad was always like,
punched you in the face.
My dad was always like, look, all these, he was like, you take the beatings now, so that way you know what it's like to get hit.
Yeah.
So that way when you get hit by someone who's lesser, it's not going to feel like shit.
That's
and
understandable.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I guess there's some logic to that. Maybe.
Well, because think about it. If you've never been hit in the face, the first time you get punched in the face, you're fucking you have trauma now. But if you've been hit in the face a lot,
Right.
which I have,
Yeah.
it's not shit. To
I
get
think it depends how hard you get hit in the face.
I've been dropped by my
Yeah.
dad. So
Yeah.
in sparring, I've been
I used
dropped.
to
Damn.
I'm I've never been in like a fight. I used to fight my brother all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I wish
he's
I
like,
had
he's
a
like
brother
4 years older than me,
fight.
and I was always a little annoying brother and wanted to do whatever he did, and so I tried to tag along. And he'd just get so annoyed. He just fucking started beating me.
Wailing.
So but back then I was a huge WWE fan.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I would try to do like
RKO.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you want to fucking fight me? Let me put you in the finger four leg lock, and
And then
make
you realize it
tap
doesn't
out.
do shit.
You fucking Captain
There
Insano.
was one move. This guy named Chris Benoit.
The crossface.
The
one?
crippler crossface is you put it's like someone's like they're laying on their stomach, and you put their arm between your legs, and then you just wrench back on their fucking face and neck and just pull back. I swear, there's a couple times I connected. And I was like, yeah,
He locked it in.
but like besides that, I just get wrecked because I'm like trying to like.
So
It's like this doesn't work.
He like trying to rip his shirt open.
It looks so real when they do it, and I try it and just fucking sucks.
Oh, you just pick me up, just toss it.
in middle school, my dad always hosted fight clubs at my house. So it's basically where like my friends,
Just a bunch of little kids just like punch each other.
So my friends would come over. We'd take the couch and everything out of the living room, and we'd fucking fight. Me and my friends would fight. My dad would ref it, and me and my friends would just whoop the shit. We'd do stand up and ground and pound, and oh my gosh, we'd walk away with bloody noses, and then my dad would barbecue for us all. So
That makes me think of that story that was going around a couple of years ago. It was like that lady, and she ran like a daycare, and she had like a young kid fight club that she was running.
That sounds illegal.
Obviously got arrested, but that makes me think of that.
These were like, well, we were all 13, but I was like 185 pounds, and I was
like
just,
what
I was
I weigh
just
right
full
now.
of, I was 185 pounds and just full of rage. So, and all my friends were bigger than me. One of my best friends, Roger, at the time, was like a pretty big kid. Actually, that summer fight club that we held at my house, he dropped like 100 pounds. But we would play like UFC, and they would be like, you know, I had the first UFC Undisputed, and for like the 360 when they started making them cool, and so we play that, and then we were just like, dude, let's just fight, let's just spar.
Yeah.
And my dad had all the gear because my dad's a huge big time combat guy, so yeah, we would just, and then it just like cannonballed into let's just get together and gather friends who like to fight and throw down, and we'll just fight in our living room and eat good afterwards. And
Right.
See, I feel like that wouldn't fly nowadays. I feel like somebody's parent would be like,
Dad would be going to jail.
yeah, your dad would for sure catch a case.
No, that's literally that's just how different it is.
it's
now.
really weird to think that, because like right now I'm like, God, that's great. Like, if Kingston ever has friends and they want to throw down, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let it happen. But like, you can't. I can't do
No,
that.
I would advise you
that.
against
Like
that.
Joe, like at Joey's, like like sometimes they would
Our
throw on
friend's
gloves.
Dad's like, oh, why don't you guys put the gloves on? I'm like,
Yeah.
or I can talk my way out of it. It's like,
Or hear me out.
hear me out. I don't want to get punched. I have tiny wrists. Okay? The gloves we're using are like giant fucking
16
balloons.
ounce.
Like, so I'm like, ugh. Once you start doing this in a fight, it's over.
Yeah.
You'll
Game
walk.
over.
Once you start not doing
Yeah.
this and
Yeah.
go over,
Yeah.
I don't think
Hammer fist.
I think the fight's over at that point too, because like I'm not gonna hit a guy that's like.
I am.
Yeah,
Stop
I'd be like,
it.
I think
Stop
I'm
it.
just swinging my eye. I think we're done here. I think we just throw.
I'm just like,
good man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, because you're a psychopath.
what's that? 5 minutes in the cage with who's a bone saw?
What are you doing up there?
What's that Macho Man?
Freak show. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
God damn it.
Oh man, R.I.P.
I know. Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
That was how long
while
ago?
driving, and he hit a tree.
No shit. I knew he had a heart attack. I didn't know he was driving.
He was driving. He went into cardiac arrest and wheeled off the road into a tree.
He needs one of those self-driving. Stop laughing, bro.
Because that's really sad.
No, that's like such a crazy way to go.
Yeah, it's super
That's
sad.
probably
All those old wrestling guys, like
A lot of
Well, I
heart
mean,
attacks.
think
Ultimate
about-
Warrior had a heart attack. Like his story's crazy.
He was such an intense
Bro,
dude.
If you ever watched the Ultimate
I loved
Warrior
his show.
like, he came back to the WWE after like a hiatus forever, and he got inducted in the Hall of Fame. The next day, he went on like Raw, and, like talked for like 10 minutes, whatever. The next day, he died.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved watching.
Dude, he's
his
so
show.
intense. Yeah. Did you ever? Have you ever seen his he had
Warrior
a pilot show?
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like the Warrior Show.
It only was like 5 episodes or something like that.
Did it go 5? I've only seen 2 of the episodes
I've seen
on YouTube.
Yeah, it was like with Asking
If you
Alexandria.
ever want to watch a good promo
Really good
cut by a wrestler, watch Macho Man Randy Savage, Cream of the Crop.
The cream of the crop one.
He has a creamer, and it's like he's a magic trick.
He pulls it on his ear.
Dude was absolutely
I love-
snow caned out of his mind.
I love
video.
that that little clip of
100%
Macho
sober.
Man. I love that little clip of Macho Man when that they like keep clipping it back where he's like, and he's like sweating and he's just freaking.
Yeah.
They're the best.
All those,
WWE, dude.
there's a lot of good ones. Documentary. I'm a big documentary guy.
Dude, I was a big-
on Netflix. There's one about Jake the Snake Roberts, and
Oh, yeah.
it's like
Is that
battle.
the DDP one where
Yeah.
they? Yeah, that's a good one.
Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho had one.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero had one or something like that.
Yeah, they're wrestling is a crazy culture, man. But
It is. It really is like its own world.
I think
and like
that's-
people think that everything's fake, which obviously there's a lot of fake stuff. But like those guys still get really.
Those guys
hurt.
get
yeah,
fucked
that's,
up.
That's still like physical contact.
Yeah.
Like they
It's
talk
just-
about it. Even if you watch, I think it's like Prescription Thugs.
Yeah.
Mark's brother talks about how because he was a professional wrestler for like a lesser league or something like that.
Mark Bell was a wrestler.
Oh, he was. I thought it was.
No, Mark Bell was in the WWF.
Mark Bell was, and then what was the brother's name again?
Chris.
Was Chris the one that
Mad
did the
Dog.
documentary? Or
Chris
that
is the
other one?
director. Yeah.
Chris is
the
no.
director.
Who's the other?
There's the other one that was.
Mad Dog.
Mad.
He's
Dog.
the brother that died of prescription overdose.
But he
Whoa, wait, he's not. He died?
dude, he died like
a long time
a
ago.
decade ago.
No, he didn't. The brother? They just did that.
No.
I actually no. I'm
There's
serious.
3 of
I didn't know this. The Bigger, Faster, Stronger
Yeah.
documentary.
That's an old documentary.
He.
That
I know that.
documentary's like.
I know that
15
documentary is
years
old, but is he really dead?
Don't they talk about him dying in
Yeah,
that
they
movie?
talk about it.
about him
No,
dying
they
in the
do
movie.
not.
bro.
Do they really?
In Prescription Thugs, they talk about it.
They talk about him dying in the actual
The wait,
Bigger,
wait, wait.
Faster,
Mad
Stronger, don't
Dog. The Mad Dog. The older
they? Yes,
brother.
yes, the older
That's why
brother.
they have the Mad Dog Slanger to pay homage.
Sorry, dude.
Holy shit! I didn't. I mean, that makes.
I'm pretty sure they talk about him
that's-
dying. in
Michael
the movie.
Jackson's dead too. I don't know if you knew that.
Same with Whitney Houston, dude.
Did you know that Kurt Cobain just recently died too?
I'm fucking. I mean, I'm not mind blown because that makes sense. That's kind of the direction he was going. But like, I knew that he tried to kill himself and like he didn't die. Like when they talked about that, he's like, I drank like a bottle of liquid lead and took all those pills and like what? Yeah, and he's like, there's no the guy that was like, there's no way I should be alive right now. Like, there's no way that guy.
Yeah,
That guy died.
Yeah,
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow, that's crazy. That
I know you're shocked. I know you're shocked, but it's been like 15 years. Dude.
No, it has not been 15 years. Are you kidding me?
That documentary came out a long time ago.
Bigger, Faster, Stronger.
Yeah, that's a good documentary.
Really good documentary. That's fucking sad. I can't believe I didn't know that. That's how under a rock I am.
Well, you're behind in the times, dude.
Well, just
There's some good documentary. Netflix has been coming out with some really good
Yeah.
ones. dude.
Netflix got that good
Really
shit.
good.
yeah, they got that good.
What was the one? I was watching one
That
recently.
yummy.
R.I.P. to Mad Dog. I'm really sorry. I didn't know that. That's actually fucking horrible.
15 years.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's been a while. I'm sorry that I'm apparently resurfacing that. I fucking
R.I.P.
didn't know.
Elvis
Just
Presley.
don't bring that up when we see Chris at the Arnold.
I will not. Absolutely.
or Mark.
Holy shit.
We probably
Mad
won't.
Dog at?
Yeah. Hey, where's Mad Dog?
Dude.
Oh, you'll get punched in the mouth.
I would literally, James would be like with me and he'd be like,
I'd be like, fucking A, dude.
Like first Jay embarrasses
so we're
me,
going
now
to leave.
you.
I can't take you guys anywhere.
We're going to leave the expo.
Can't take you to meet my
Let me
friends
take
anyway.
that away.
And so, what is the Arnold Classic?
So the Arnold Classic
Arnold-
is one of the big. So next
It's
to
the
the
biggest.
It's
No, it's the biggest fitness expo
Yeah.
I would say probably in the world.
Is it like competitions? And stuff?
Yeah, so they do like it's like
So
pretty
not
much.
just like, I thought it was like just like a seminar.
No,
So you should go.
It's like literally all
You'd have fun.
the weirdest sports you can imagine. Like they have fencing, they have like fucking wrestling, they have powerlifting, Highland games, like
Badminton.
That's what I really like about
bunch
Arnold.
of weird sports.
It's like Arnold, like he loves that shit. You know what I mean? Like he's just like if you're competitive or you're into some kind of a sport or like something like that, like he supports it. He loves it.
Well, it's cool because it's like like people think fitness and they think like it's bodybuilding and it's like working out. It's like, well, it covers a lot of different things. Like it's not just working out in the gym, like lifting a barbell. Like it's like a bunch of you can pretty much like even esports is like fitness nowadays. Like it's on ESPN. Fucking A.
Those esport guys, like there's like full on like 2K leagues, like legit like the Blazers, like NBA teams have their own esport team. And like they pay these guys to like live in like a penthouse and like they weight train everything. It's literally they practice video games, but like they have like a whole diet they have to stick to. Oh wait, I was just like, bro.
Well, like, and
I'm sure there's like some kid in like Southeast Asia that would just murk these guys.
I just recently saw a post talking about how someone told this kid at Planet that bodybuilding was a sport. And then some kid was like, even esports is a sport. And then the kid replied back and was like, esports isn't a sport, blah, 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 thinking that he was like being, I know, I was like, well, I was on your side until you said that, because you have to understand, like, well, and anyone listening who doesn't think esports is a sport, think about, like, your brain is the largest muscle in your body, isn't it? Or something like that. Or it's like
it's the most powerful.
It's the most powerful, not the largest. Because obviously,
look at these fucking biceps, bro.
So,
I don't know, bro. You sure it's the biggest fucking muscle?
I don't know. Look at this quad right
so
here.
the brain is the most powerful muscle in your body, and you're constantly using it every single day. And like esports, like I play Call of Duty all the time. I suck at it sometimes. Sometimes I'm really good. Sometimes I suck.
You know
but
who sucks at Call of Duty?
like to be even okay. Like to be even okay, everything I do in that game is super strategic. From where I throw my grenades to where I hide behind corners to knowing if I should pre-fire around a corner when I slide. Like you have to know all that stuff.
It's a whole.
I don't know if I count it as a sport though. It's like a competition. Like
It's just
But
so
they-
different.
it's a competition.
With like $1
Yeah.
million grant. I don't know. It's just
It's like playing. It's like you don't consider chess a sport.
I saw this video of a kid.
It's a game.
I
I don't know.
It's a competition.
It's a competition.
Yeah.
It's a competition.
I saw this video of a
point,
kid.
actually.
I think he was in Southeast Asia. He's a PC player. I don't know if you ever seen PC guys, but like
They get fucking wild.
the skill level is unreal.
Like on another.
well, just like
and
the
this is a kid
hand-eye
too.
coordination.
It's clicking and typing at the same time. So it's like
maybe
and this
when
kid's maybe like 12. I'm like, dude, I can't do that.
when you're
I
to
physically
that
can't do
level, that's when we can probably go into like, because dude, there's some kids that I've seen like some Korean kids that I'm like, holy shit. Like I thought I was fucking good at one point. No. Like, well, yeah, I'm the best. But like, I mean, like, no, but like, no, these kids are on a fucking different realm.
This
you
dude I
like-
know, Aaron, he does he like streams on Twitch and stuff, and he does all his computer stuff, and he's like pretty good at Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And he's like clicking and and I'm like,
Talking about Biggie,
yeah, Biggie,
Yeah.
Biggie does all his streaming,
and he's really good.
Yeah.
but like he's not even like
he's
top
not
level.
He's not even considered like top tier gamer,
Yeah.
and he's like good.
Right.
He's like quadruple kill right off the bat, beginning of the round type of guy.
like ninja. Dude, how about
Well,
like
ninjas like
Shout out
ninjas
to,
like
you want to know what is fucking really quick? Do you want to know what is mind blowing to me about Ninja? I remember so when I was really into Halo with like Connor, like when we were like trying to Connor and I. So I used to have a friend named Connor who we were really getting like really into like Halo. Like we wanted to like go pro, like with like Halo, like. I was skipping school. I'm not even kidding. I was skipping school to play Halo. Like
There was a time where Wesley almost dropped out.
I almost dropped out my junior year.
to be in esports.
No, I'm like serious. I was getting really good.
He wouldn't come to
Like
school.
I wouldn't come to school. I was really. I was good. I was good, but I wasn't.
It'd be different if he was like dog shit terrible.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man, you got
Just died.
you haven't won a
like,
game
actually-
in 3 days.
FIFO every time.
He's actually pretty good. God, it's a hard bargain. But no. So, anyways, with that was like so Halo Reach was around.
A SWAT.
That was when sorry. Halo 3 was like my shit. That was when I was like really
That
starting
game
to
is a
pop
great
off.
game still.
And
It
Ninja
still
was
holds
kind of on the scene, but he wasn't very good. He like really like
I
wasn't
can't
very good
stand
at Halo
Ninja.
3. Halo Reach drops. And I remember Ninja like seeing him. I was watching him. I actually got in a lobby with him. We barely lost, but like I lost. I think it was a capture the flag, and we lost to him. And dude, I remember I was like, this dude is a fucking monster. Like he was so good. Like the difference in like, well, first of all, like his connection. There's so many things that factor into it, like your connection, your fucking like, is he on a monitor? Like, what is he using? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it gets to a point where everybody's rocking different headset, like SteelSeries, Astros, whatever the fuck's out there now, like whatever.
Turtle
kind of monitor.
Beach.
It's just like no, it gets to that point
what I
where
have.
it's like, what's your download speed? What's your upload speed? You know what I mean? Like, it all factors in because it gets to the point where, like, even today with like sports, like. Everybody's getting so good.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody's using all the same shit and it's like the competition, you know what I mean? Like is crazy. But I just remember Ninja, dude, like Halo Reach was when he blew up. And it's so crazy. Like I looked him up the other day and I was like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like a deal with
took
like
off.
deals and stuff.
He
now.
took off.
You were like, I remember literally playing against you.
I did.
in
I
Halo.
did.
I am-
Google
no.
like just offered him like he just signed a deal with Google, right?
Dude.
to leave Twitch or something.
Yeah, he's
Something.
on Mixer now.
Yeah,
He's on
to,
Mixer.
yeah. he's-
Absurd. He
for,
was in a
like,
fucking
ridiculous-
Super Bowl commercial. Like, you know what I mean? Like he
I
was,
can't stand Ninja.
He was on the
Well,
Masked
he's just
I
Singer.
just can't. I can't, dude. Because like it's the whole. I can't. I don't like Fortnite.
like as a
either.
person. Oh well, yeah.
As a person, too.
Yeah.
Like I just like, bro. Like he was on Twitter, like talking about like how like he's like he was talking shit about like NFL players
Yeah.
specifically.
What was he saying?
He was saying that he's just like, I don't understand like how you can't make a field. Like he's like talking about
Oh.
like kickers and stuff. And I was like, bro. And then he tried to compare, like somebody said something, and he was like saying that playing Fortnite is way harder than kicking a field goal
Yeah.
in like an NFC
Okay,
championship.
so-
I was like, do you hear the word?
The thing is,
Pressure.
yeah, no, that's the biggest thing is like, see, he's looking at that from like, you have to understand like his standpoint of like how he's looking at things is the way that he operates is like, have you ever seen like how a German Shepherd like looks at things? Like it's like constantly like trying to like figure shit out and like analyze everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just like he's a logical thinker. You know what I mean? Like for the
That
But
doesn't
so
sound
is-
very logical to me.
Well, so
However, but he's not factoring in. Have you ever been on that field? Like, have you been on a field and felt that pressure, or like been in a fucking octagon to fight Conor McGregor? All of the pressure from all of his fans. You know what I'm saying? You could be the best fighter ever, but if you're nervous, or if you know what you mean, like you slip up, like that can make your nerves start to set in, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck
and,
up, you
and
know what I'm
another
saying?
thing that Ninja has to factor in is like, if
Yeah.
Ninja loses a game, nothing happens to him. Nothing happens to anyone on his team. Nothing happens to the other people.
Nobody
If
really
you miss a
cares
field
if he
goal,
loses.
everyone boos you. If you get hit by somebody
Yeah.
trying to make a field goal, you could break a foot, you could break a knee,
Yeah.
ankle, you could break a rib.
You lose if you miss a field goal. You lose your job.
I don't know. Yeah, he doesn't
There's-
quite understand.
Here's a video.
I don't know
I
why
won't
he's
play
saying
it, but like he
Well, he
there's-
understands,
Lately, that like just a few days ago, there's a video of him comparing losing a virtual game of Fortnite to LeBron James and Tom Brady losing a game at the highest level of professional sports. And like, there's a whole video of like him like at his like stream talking about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can't compare that. You can't compare.
Maybe he just
I was
thinks
like,
that
you're
he
not
kind of-
playing against Steph Curry, Ninja.
See, it's bizarre, but like the thing is, like with him, dude, like he's like he might just think that he can because of the level that he's at now. You know what I'm saying? Like he maybe.
Well, that's an
like,
ego thing at
Yeah.
at this point where he's thinking where he's so well known that he
Yeah.
just assumes that like
Right.
he's at the top of his profession or whatever. But the comparison is ridiculous
That's a
because
stupid
if
comparison.
he loses a game of Fortnite, nobody cares. Like honestly, like his fans maybe care.
Yeah.
But how many like they're not going to be like, oh, you know what, fuck Ninja, he lost that Fortnite game, he lost the world championships. But like LeBron James like
Yeah.
loses a game in the finals,
Right.
like millions of people hate him.
Sports are different.
Yeah,
It's a
and he's
different-
on ESPN getting blasted by like 100 different. Yeah, like,
He's been in the last like 8 finals.
Yeah.
in like the past decade.
and
it's
and
different.
and there's a ridiculous like physical aspect to that too. Like
100%.
it's physical.
Yeah.
It's because basketball is like it's a physical thing, but it's also strategy too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, whereas the Fortnite, yeah, there's some physical aspects of it, but it's all strategy.
Completely different.
finger
It's just,
cramps.
yeah. That's a. I don't really agree with that.
He could maybe he could maybe argue like you could maybe argue
I
pressure
suck at Fortnite. I don't
I
get
play
it.
COD.
because pressure's like like everyone responds to pressure differently and everyone experiences pressure differently. So like he could argue maybe I feel as much pressure as LeBron James in this, and I could maybe see that.
I wonder
But
what it's
But
like.
there's no possible way for him to know that he feels the same pressure as LeBron because he's never been in that type of position.
But it's all relative too, you know.
Totally.
Like if he's in $1 million game of Fortnite, where if he dies right now, like he loses $1 million basically.
Yeah, I mean,
Like you could argue that's a lot of pressure,
right.
you know. I
that's
get
true.
anxious playing Fortnite just by myself, and it doesn't even fucking matter if I die.
So think about it from his standpoint when he's going live on Twitch and has 50,000 people watching him. I'm just pulling numbers out here, but you know what I mean.
That's probably
like
accurate.
to his level. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that he thinks and operates when he's. I know that this sounds fucking ridiculous, but when he's playing video games, the way that he thinks and how he it could be like that's like his Super Bowl. That's his play. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's
like
what I was-
his. Like
That's what I was saying. Like even when I play COD, like I'm not very great. Believe me, I definitely have some shitty games. But like when I play COD, it's all about like how well do you know your map? How well do you know your corners? How well do you know? You know what I mean? Like it's like, do you know when you're supposed to pre-fire around a corner?
Yeah.
Most people don't pre-fire. Most people just slide around a corner and get shot.
Yeah.
But if you know that this is like, you have to know what the hot spots in the map are.
Yeah.
Like you have to know there's almost always a person right here. You
there's
know
a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
things. There's a lot that goes into.
All I
it.
know is, growing up, video games are a big part, and those lobbies, a bunch of online bullying, made me tougher.
Hey,
Dude, I get bullied by 10-year-olds when I play
Yeah,
Fortnite.
nowadays,
get
it's like
bullied,
kids
yeah.
screaming at you, but back
I got
then,
called a
like,
bitch
like
last
Modern
night.
Warfare 2 lobbies, you had grown men. Oh yeah, well, give me your address.
Yeah, they were legit. They were legitimately talking shit.
Here's
Now
the
it's just kids screaming at you like "fuck you!" Like,
I was
You're
literally
stupid.
like especially Modern Warfare 2. There were some lobbies where I was like, "Give me your fucking address, dude." I was like, "Yeah, like let's get like I was like one of those guys. Like, what's your fucking address?"
I
dude?
know somebody who was like just dicking around, and he was talking shit to this one dude, and the guy ended up being in like the same city as him.
Oh,
and he
shit.
came to his house with a baseball bat. It was like, let's fucking go.
Dude, I heard about one where a dude walked over and got stabbed.
There's been people who've been
Over-
murdered
over-
because of it.
They were in
No
the same,
shit.
Yeah,
So
I
there
swear,
was
yeah.
one. There was a story. Freaking A. I wish I could remember more specifically like where it was, but like there was a story. It was these two dudes. I don't know how old they were, but they were in the same neighborhood. They were in like the same. They would actually live.
How do
really
they know
close.
that? They just
So the dude was like, "What's your address?" And he's like, I see like you're from blah blah blah. I can't remember where it was. It was like Colorado, something crazy. I don't remember. But he's like, I see like because in his bio, I think he had like what state he lived in. He's like, "What's your address?" Drops his address. Homie goes over there and fucking like I don't think he died or anything, but he stabbed him like multiple times.
that
Like
level of pettiness is not existing.
no,
Like,
that's wild.
psycho shit, dude.
Those
Like
were the
you know,
days.
like dude,
I rage,
those were
dude.
the days, baby.
Sometimes
that was intense, yeah.
I rage, but I never rage at people. I just rage the fact that like people are so good. Like literally, like especially.
Yeah.
I never really raged too bad in Fortnite, but Call of Duty, oh my god, dude! Like I was playing that last night, and there were times where I was like, motherfucking shit.
Yeah,
Like
Just like how are you so good?
well, they brought Rust back, so Rust is now a level in the new Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and that's where you settle all debates. It's on Rust, dude.
1v1.
Yeah.
Dude, they have that. Literally, they have a mode now called 1v1 me, bro, and it's
go.
1v1 on Rust.
There you go.
Russ was a sick man.
And Ghost is back too, which he looks super dope. in.
Online bullying, man.
2020.
Yeah, that's a real thing, dude.
That's
Take
great.
that's like
that thing with the. It's like
Oh,
the
yeah,
kid
the
we were
kid.
talking about.
Yeah.
That what is his name?
Quaden.
Quaden.
Quadricep.
Quadripteryx.
Well, no, don't be online bullying him, bro.
Yeah.
That's a great name.
So
Quadricep.
here's my thoughts.
Quaden Bayles.
Yeah.
Bayles.
So like anybody who doesn't know about that, which I'm sure just about everybody does because everyone I've
Huge.
talked to seems to know.
Give a quick little recap for people.
So he was basically the video that was released was its title. It was a 9-year-old kid. His name was Quaden. Quaden
Bayles.
Quaden Bayles.
9 or 4? I can't.
He's 9 years
18,
old.
I
He
don't
has a very it's like a certain type of dwarfism that he has where he's like I don't really know like too much about it, but he has a form of dwarfism that seems pretty severe, and it's basically a video of his mom filming him in the back of the car, and apparently she just picked him up from school. They're Australian, right?
Yeah,
Just picked him up from school, and he's very upset, like
distraught.
What's really kind of sad and hits about the video is what he's saying.
He talks about stabbing himself.
He's like,
right?
I just want to die. Like I want to stab.
Give
And
me a
he's like
knife,
grabbing, he's like grabbing at his throat and shit.
He's like, I
And
hate
he's-
it. Like I'm bully all the time. And like the mom's like, this is what happens when bullying. Blah blah blah.
Yes.
it's super sad.
It's really sad.
It's gone worldwide viral.
So there's apparently also rumors going around that he's not actually 9 years old. He's 18.
Yeah.
I can't really confirm any of this, but he's apparently
None of it's been confirmed.
None of
I don't
it's been
think.
confirmed. Apparently,
I
they
know
were
the
saying
mom went out. It was like, are you kidding me? But
Yeah.
it's
the
like,
mom.
that's nothing.
They were basically saying that they recorded this video to try to attract attention to him to raise money.
Yeah.
And here's my thoughts on that. I basically think, dude, if the kids,
bullying
what
in general. Yeah.
whatever, you know what? Here's what I kind of think about it. If she's gonna, the way that the video was recorded, she's kind of just keeping it on him the entire time. The way that the video is recorded, to me, factoring in if this is fake, is kind of questionable. To me, it is, because it's kind of just on him the whole time. He's kind of sitting there. If he's acting and he's not being serious, well done, because like he seemed like he was definitely upset.
Well, that
Because
was
the
He's
run-
like sweating. He's like, if you look at his, he's like sweating. He's crying.
He's, like,
He's like
distraught.
putting his head like into the fucking car seat. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The reason why people are calling it fake is because there's other people like saying like he's on. There's photos of him like flexing like whatever Australian currency that they have. Like there's him like wearing Gucci.
Well,
Like,
because the money
and
was
all
already
this-
raised, right? Did they already
no.
raise
So
that?
no.
so they raised the money because some comedian Brad Williams was
He's
like,
a
I want to
dwarf
take. Yeah,
as well.
he has dwarfism too, and he's like, I want to fly him and his mom out to take him to Disneyland and pay for everything. So he's trying to raise like $25,000 or whatever. And
it's like
then they raised like
400,000.
Like,
last time I
it's
checked, it was
crazy.
like $325, but that was like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
So it's like a ridiculous amount of money because like Hugh Jackman got behind it too. It's like wild.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of the photos, and some of the photos that they're like saying where it's like him like flipping off, or like there's a photo of
there's
him with a
photos of
gun. Some of them look really badly photoshopped, to be honest.
Yeah.
One of them
like,
is for sure photoshopped. I know because I know that exact. I've seen that exact picture. So
it's just like really bizarre. I mean, that just kind of shows you like kind of just I don't know, just like somebody when they get that kind of a spotlight on them. Okay, well, what I was going to finish up saying was, fuck, dude, if he's 18 years old, whatever, donate him the money. Give him the money. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long that dude's going to be alive for. You know what I mean?
he's lucky.
But
he-
he's raising the money under false pretenses.
Okay, so
if he is 18 and it's so,
if that's all made up, if the mom did that to create some kind of bullshit about him, that's fucked up. I don't agree with that at all. That's terrible.
a lot
And
of
she's
people were
using-
saying that she was that she's actually a sister. Like I saw some of that shit. Like I don't know. The bigger issue I think is like it just like is a reflection of like how social media is like.
Yeah.
Because it could go either two ways. Like one, there's a lot of people out there that would fake this to make like to go viral, or like people fake shit all the time to go viral. And like there's a bunch of videos on Twitter of people like faking like I saw one the other day of like some guy bullying his girlfriend because she's not wearing makeup, and he's like comparing like a photo. Yeah. And it's clearly staged, and they're just trying to get sympathy or whatever. But and then on the other side, it's like people are so fucking negative now that they're always looking at something and trying to find like, oh, this is fake. Like, so I don't know.
It's very interesting, like thing, because like it was like a day after, like people were like, "Oh, this is fake," blah blah, but like no major news like was like picking up, but like thousands of like people were gaining a lot of attention. Like
online
no, this is fake.
reporters.
But if you somebody had commented about this on Twitter that no one's even talking about in the video. Like at the 20-second mark, the kid like looks at the mom and is like, "You're doing this too. You're calling me," but no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
I was like, the kid literally just said like, "You're calling me the dumbest one in class." I was just like, but no one's saying anything about like the mom bullying her own son.
Yeah,
he was
or the
talking
fact that
live.
she's filming her kid crying and she's just gonna throw it on social media.
I misheard
There's some
that
weird
part.
parts
I
to
thought
it.
he was saying Carolyn because that was a girl that was making fun of him. in
No,
the
somebody
class.
had like put subtitles to it.
Oh.
Shit. That's
But
not.
I was just like, I don't know. Either way, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing.
No, it's for sure sad. I mean, regardless, I mean, if that's, I mean,
You
if,
bully
if-
people?
Yeah. Fuck you. Okay, sorry, that was kind of loud. Sorry, but yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, no. It's,
But yeah, no, it's bad. But no, that's like pretty bad, dude.
Yeah.
Like if that was made up, I wouldn't, dude. Like I'm just trying to think of like what kind of a person would use their son to like if my son had like a form of dwarfism, I'm not gonna sit there with a camera and be like, okay. Tell me what, you know what I mean? Like, tell me like what happened.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Tell me about this girl that's like making fun of you at school. That
Well,
happens all the
apparently
time.
she was trying to put it on Facebook to like raise awareness and be like this is what bullying, like the result of bullying, like.
Well,
So, but
it's just that's a tough.
What are they
one.
going to do with the money?
supposedly, what I heard was that the plan, if you go to the GoFundMe, is they're going to pay to fly him out and pay for his mom to fly out, take him to Disneyland, pay for all the hotel, and all the leftover money apparently is just going to get donated to a anti-bullying charity. Because it's not set up. It's not set up with those people. It's set up under that Brad Williams comedian guy. So, I mean, regardless, if he is 18 and it is a scam, and he's just trying to get publicity, like, all right, whatever. They're still raising a lot of money for anti-bullying. Like, so
True.
I
It's
mean,
a
there
hard
is some good
thing.
stuff out of it.
It's a really hard thing to get upset about and be against because, like, there's good happening despite them being possibly shitty people.
Yeah.
But there's also bad things happening because they're just proving, like, social media's point.
Yeah.
With people faking things to gain clout and stuff like that. But it's like,
Cloud's a
there's
drug.
more. There's almost more good coming out of it than bad, because it's like raising so much awareness to people who actually get affected by bullying. But if it is fake or if it is true, and Quaden, or however you pronounce his name, is 9, and he is getting bullied, and he does want to kill himself because of it, or whatever, then I mean, it's nothing but good coming out of it, and I feel terrible for him.
It's
I feel bad for the kid.
It's really tough. My kind of view on it is interesting because I think it just totally depends on the type of person. Obviously, Quaden, having the condition that he does.
Yeah.
Whoever is bullying him, like, dude, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
Like,
why,
come
like-
on. Like, that's why, like,
Kids
but
are
like,
ruthless
I mean,
now,
dude, I've
man.
been, you know what I'm saying? But you could flick me shit in high school, or you could say something to me, and if anything, it's just going to make me like. I kind of think that there's that fine line.
Well-
This day and age, people just don't play that shit.
Well,
know what I'm saying?
also-
you can't, like, bullying, cyberbullying,
Yeah.
like, you can't do
You're
it.
canceled.
Like, at all. You're done.
What are they
Like,
bullying you over? They're bullying you over things that, like,
Right.
certain people aren't going to see, but like
Right.
I could totally see a lot of people bullying him.
Yeah.
Because like kids suck, dude.
Yeah.
Like little kids are
Mean.
they're mean as shit.
yeah.
Like, and they'll see this. I'm sure he's a small kid. He's probably way smaller than all the kids in his grade. They're gonna stare at him regardless.
Right.
And I'm sure even like staring at him weird is gonna be like is almost a form of bullying.
Yeah.
Kind of like you're. But
Yeah, I
So-
wish the best for the kid. If it is true, like I hope nothing but like
No, for sure. And I'm
And
glad.
if
I'm
it's
glad
not,
that
well,
they're
I mean,
doing
like
something.
you said, at least they raised something
yeah.
for bullying.
Well, I
you
think
know,
I think the bigger issue is like it's just like people. We're gonna find out eventually because like he's gonna go to Disneyland and
Yeah.
they're gonna
Good
be
Morning America.
Yeah, he's gonna end up and like Brad Williams is gonna look at him and be like, "Oh, you're not 9 years old."
Yeah.
So like, why don't we wait till that happens instead
Yeah.
of like all these people jumping out like and condemning
Yeah.
him? Like nobody fucking knows him except
Right.
for people in his town. Like,
Yeah.
but people are all like, "Oh yeah, it's fake. It's totally
Yeah.
fake." Because I've seen on like Facebook, especially, it's like people posting the thing and like, "Oh, he's a scumbag. What a scam
Well,
artist!"
I-
It's like wait till you find out,
right.
dude. Like,
I
stop
read
judging
a-
people immediately.
I read a really interesting comment from a mother whose child goes to school with Quaden.
Well,
But how do you know that?
I don't know, but it's
Exactly.
Just, it's just
People
what she
say that
said.
shit all the
Yeah,
time.
She's
It's
like,
crazy.
she's like, don't believe what they're saying. She's like, my son goes to school with them. And
my
she's
son's
like,
the one being bullied.
She's like, she's
He
like-
bullies my son.
Well, she
Quaden
was
kicked
in
my
the
son's
comment,
one of the thousands. She was like, you know what? She's like, they start a lot of problems. She's like, they're just like attention seekers, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it could just be you being a sour piece of shit, though.
Well,
It's
see,
just,
nobody fucking knows,
They're in
dude.
Australia. Like none of
Yeah.
us know.
Nobody knows.
Yeah, in Australia, you call people cunts, and it's like calling someone a
Well,
bro. Like,
even
yeah,
even that
yeah.
even that mom, like she maybe had an issue with the other dude's mom. Like,
Yeah,
you never know what the
Yeah.
people need to just chill. And like, a big thing is like people just need to focus on their own shit. Like, there's too much. Like,
That's the thing.
It's the evil world we live in.
You post something and it's going to get, dude, it doesn't matter what you post and what level you're at. You're going to post something and somebody's going to have some kind of shit to say or some kind of a different, not even necessarily shit, but the way that somebody else sees something is not how you see something. And there's going to be different point of views, different things that are going to be set. So obviously to this tier, there's going to be people that are like, this isn't real. This is like, this is fake. Yeah, that's just the world we live in.
Well, there's people that think the Earth is flat too.
Yeah.
So like, there's.
I saw a thread of people like talking about like mermaids being real. I was like, you hear what you're saying?
Yeah, dude.
You hear what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind
That'd
of
be cool if mermaids were real. Though.
That would be cool.
That was kind of my
You
theory.
guys believe
with,
in Bigfoot and like aliens and stuff like that?
I believe in aliens.
dude,
I believe in aliens.
I believe that there's probably something out there.
I want to say Bigfoot's real because there's
okay,
I think that
Bigfoot or
Bigfoot-
like cavemen.
I think
Bigfoot.
No,
Bigfoot.
Like
I would
just-
say
like
maybe
a giant ape, like a giant
Like
ape that
Bigfoot.
lives in North America.
Maybe Bigfoot.
like look out that window. Look at all those trees. No one knows what's out there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
there was
It's like the ocean. Like no one knows out there.
there was recently a article, like a video popped up from ODOT about like this weird figure walking. I think it was near Salem, or no, it was maybe up past Salem. But they have video, like a black and white video of something that looks like a Bigfoot, like on one of the traffic cameras or something. It's like, you don't fucking know, dude. There's so many like
all I know
parts
is
of the
I'd
world.
like crap my pants.
Well, here's an
if I saw
example.
one
oh, dude.
or been around one.
Here's an example. The Amazon, only 5% of the Amazon has been explored.
Exactly.
Only 5% of it.
Yeah.
They've had, and there's still tribes. There's still
They're
like
finding like ruins and
natives
stuff.
in the Amazon who've never seen a fucking helicopter or a plane. Who don't think.
Can you imagine
They
being
don't-
one of those people and seeing this?
When I was aliens, there was this big thing that happened. When I was in high school, where they had discovered a tribe in the Amazon that had their huts and everything, and they saw the helicopter, and they went back inside and put like their war stuff on, and came back out with spears and were like looking at it. They had they were deep in there. Imagine if that was their very first time seeing this machine that's in the sky.
Well,
there's going to be paintings.
there's
about
that
the
guy last year. I think the island is in like near the Philippines or something like that.
I think I know the.
But the guy, he's like a doctor, like a missionary.
Yeah.
And there's a territory of like there's a few territories
It's
in the
near
world.
New Guinea, I
They're
think.
like all indigenous people where like they haven't been exposed to like Western like literally
white
like a
people?
cold can wipe out their whole tribe. Like that's how like closed off they've been.
Yeah.
And like you're not allowed to go. There's a strict travel ban. But this guy went and they fucking killed him. Yeah. He got off the boat and they straight up murked him, like right there. And everyone was freaking out because it's like they don't know like he could be sick or like all the like the germs that he has. Like they're so different. But I was just like thinking, I was like, can you imagine being a person in a tribe on a beach and you see like a naval ship? Like, can you imagine?
No,
Some dude pulls out an iPhone. You're like, what the fuck?
Machete cuts off his hand.
Dude, they're using weapons with like tree branches with like a sharpened stone.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, but
Yeah, I mean they're wiping.
I'm not gonna feel bad for that guy though. That guy.
Yeah, that's stupid.
you knew it. You knew it.
You knew what you're fucking getting.
I'm not going to that tribe, dude. I don't. Cool.
What was
man.
there was I think they made a movie. They either made a movie about it or it was a
Pirates of the
documentary
Caribbean?
about the. What'd you say?
Captain Phillips.
Oh yeah. Have you guys seen the Green Inferno?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so
Fuck
it
that,
was kind of
dude.
similar to that. Actually, it was I read it. It was online. It was basically about a a group of people. I don't know if they were college.
It was like a
students.
Greenpeace, like college students Greenpeace kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And
They crashed in the Amazon.
and they fucking.
They try to stop like deforestation.
Yeah.
And they try to work with the tribe.
So there was like a
another
real-
tribe,
I think that was actually, I don't know about that specific movie, but the thing that I was reading online was based off of something almost exactly like that.
It's the same thing, like the Serpent and the Rainbow. I don't know if you guys have ever. It's an old, like, I think it's like a late 70s or 80s movie, and it's called the Serpent and the Rainbow, and it talks about like zombification and like drugs that they take that like makes people appear dead and stuff, and so these tribes and these like.
That's pretty metal.
Do they eat people?
Huh?
Do they eat people?
No, they don't eat people. But what happens is like they would bury these people that they thought would be dead, and then their drugs would get out of their system, and they'd wake up and like climb out of their grave and like wander around, but like part of their brain wouldn't be like the drug would like kill part of their brain, so they would just be set to like primitive mode.
Wow,
it was like it's called the Serpent and the Rainbow.
Remember that movie Apocalypto?
Yeah.
That movie was sick as fuck.
That movie's dope.
Because at the very end, like he escapes from and then at the very end, he's like in the jungle and he sees like the Spaniards like arrive.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude.
Yeah. Imagine what he is thinking.
Bananas.
Crazy. That's a good movie.
Dude, just imagine living back in that time period. Like,
Yeah.
all the human sacrifice and
Just I think about it because like this side of the world wasn't really discovered till like the 1400s.
Yeah.
So like everything before that, like there's whole like dynasties and empires like on the eastern side of the world. It's just crazy. Like that shit is so wild.
So just bizarre. Christopher Columbus just, you guys Indians?
That guy's a real piece of
no.
shit.
No.
I am.
No, we're not.
I have Native American.
I think you guys are Indians. we're gonna call you guys Indians. People still fucking call Native Americans Indians.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's still a thing. Like it's not what they. No, he literally thought that they were gonna end up in India, and he literally went the wrong way.
worst
And
explorer of all time, right there.
Hey,
We're in India.
you guys Indians? Cuba. You guys Indians?
Not even close, bro.
No, dude, you went the wrong way. Well, we're still gonna fucking kill you guys, and
That's right.
Well, it's India now.
Well,
The United States of India.
dude, back then,
what a life.
What a wild life that would be. Like you're married at 13 and you
Popping
die,
out
you're considered old at 30. You die. Like
Well, you're 25. Oh, god damn.
Oh, time.
The Twilight years.
yeah. Oh, how did he die? Oh, he had a fever. Oh, he had a cold.
He got an ingrown toenail and died.
Got infected. Chopped all his legs off.
Can you? I know that like it's so funny. Like, can you imagine like being like in a village and like just a bigger group of people just show up and you're like, oh shit, like they're taking this. We're slaves now. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I saw on Twitter,
And they come and they rape your women and murder your kids.
I know I'm fucking laughing.
I love how you're just laughing at that. They're murdering, raping
just
people.
like, shit.
dude,
It's
like,
fucked up.
Yeah, can you imagine like being like a nice peaceful Can you imagine being like a nice peaceful like, oh, we grow wheat here. And then like,
John Smith.
no. And then like maybe 10 ships of Nordic Vikings come in and just wipe you out. Like, what do you do? Like, that's such a crazy time.
They
dude.
attack you while you're
buzzkill
at
right
church.
If I get your brother, I don't know why I'm talking like I'm Hawaiian.
Like literally,
Get
like,
your brother, we gotta go.
can you imagine? Like, I mean, you don't see it nowadays, but like back then, they're like, I want that,
Yeah.
and we're just gonna take it.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
Vikings were fucked up too. 'Cause
What?
Vikings would attack on Sundays when everyone was worshiping their higher power.
That's what happens. Yeah, I was watching the Vikings
Yeah.
show. It's fucking it's
Hardcore.
insane.
Yep.
It's
Hardcore.
insane. They go to like this monastery and like the priests are all like just like writing in their books and they just fucking come in and just slice everyone's fucking throats. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
because
cool. Like,
Vikings didn't
Vikings
have.
are savage.
They didn't. They like had a really strict code between themselves, but like everyone around, like they were just.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So
I just
wicked.
that history is fascinating to me.
Yeah, it
I
is.
love that.
The
I
world
love
is
history.
crazy.
The world, the history of the world
in the
is. I go on random like YouTube. I get sunken into YouTube, and I was watching. There's this movie actually coming out I think Ridley Scott is making it. He did Aliens, right?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. He's making it, and it was written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and
nice.
but it's called The Last Duel, and it's based on like a true event happened in like the 1300s of like these two French guys. And they're both like pretty big in like the French military. Mm-hmm. One of them is like one of them was out on like a conquest, and the other one he was known as like a womanizer, and for some reason they don't know really why, but he raped the guy who's like on a conquest. Let's call that guy Ernie, and let's call the rapist Mike.
Super French.
So Ernie's off on his own thing. Mike rapes his wife. 20 days goes by. He comes back from the conquest. She tells him. They take it to the king, the courts, everything. Back then, though, it was just like, okay, we can do a trial, or you could fight to the death. And they call it the last duel because it was the last duel the French Empire did, like to fight to the death. Like that was the last one. But these guys, it was built up as like it's today in modern times. It would be like McGregor versus Mayweather. Like it was built like kings from different countries and everything. They came to watch, and they did it in this arena.
That's
rad. So it started out. They jousted for like a couple times. Their weapons were jousting, a battle axe, and like daggers and swords. That's what they had, and armor and shit.
It's like Cable Guy.
So
when they fuck, it's like the same shit.
So Mike was known as like the bigger, like he's a stronger guy, bigger guy, whatever.
Oh, Mike the Rapist.
Mike the Rapist.
Mike the Rapist. So because they have French ass name, I'm not gonna say that. They're going at it. Finally, like their jousting sticks, they break. And they're still on their horses. Mike gets off, and I'm pretty sure it's Mike. He slices cuts the head of the Ernie's horse, and they get on the ground. They start dueling. Right, everyone's like going crazy. After a while, they start like fighting, and like they're wrestling on the ground for a little bit, and like they're going at it. And Ernie gets stabbed in the leg, and everyone's like, "Oh!" Everyone like he thought it was over, but then he was able to counter and get Mike on the ground, and was like just pounding on his chest plate and couldn't get it unloose. He was like stabbing at it, couldn't penetrate it. But his armor, he was such a big dude, and his armor was all like kind of too heavy, so he couldn't like really maneuver. He was like a turtle on his back.
Yeah,
and finally he busted open the chest plate, and Ernie was like, "Hey, like." Not casual like I am, but it's just like you will like admit what you're wrongdoing, like right now, like blah blah. And Mike's like, I will not admit to like the Holy Spirit, blah blah blah. Like God knows, like I'm an innocent man, blah blah. Stabbed him right there in the chest, and like he gets up and like it's like Gladiator. I was like,
you know this is the time.
Freaking out, and like he goes back and. Goes back and celebrates his wife. He becomes like a huge celebrity. The king grants him knighthood, gives him all this money, all this like land. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, can you imagine nowadays? It's like, okay, you can do this trial, or you can fight to the death for honor.
Dude, I think
they should bring that back a little bit.
I
think
cool
people
with
would
that.
be less likely to fuck around.
We pretty much almost fought to the death in my backyard, so I'm cool with doing it now.
That's like Count of Monte Cristo. Like he fucking, you know what I mean? He had an affair with that guy's dude. They bring that back.
Do you know that whole story? Sorry to bore you guys if that was
that
boring.
story. No, that was.
Right. I want to see that movie now.
Everyone tune into that.
But yeah, it's going to be a movie with Ben Affleck and Matt.
Now?
So Ben Affleck and Matt Damon wrote it, but they're also going to star in it. So
that'll be good.
They're going to be the two.
You know the whole.
They're going to be the two guys.
So they're going to have some shitty French accents. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's all going to be in English.
French accent.
It reminds me of that one. The fight in the what's that show?
Which a show or movie?
Fucking Game of Thrones.
Oh,
the mountain crushes that guy's head.
Yeah,
He's
I was so bummed when that happened.
It was just like saying like
he
admit
was kicking his ass.
He's like
too,
admit to like what you did, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And like it's the same thing. Like he's like I will not do it, blah blah. And he's like I will die an innocent man in the name of God. Just blow right through like the neck.
I mean, props to him for. Not being a rapist, but I mean for fucking.
No, he is a rapist though.
But I'm saying props to him not being like not props to him for being a rapist, but props to him for like sticking
killing
to his
him?
fucking word until he died.
Is he? Is it?
I mean, no.
Dude's a piece of shit.
I mean, he fucking died. So I mean, he killed him.
I mean, the same thing-
Ernie won. So
Shout out to Ernie.
Shout out to Ernie. That's
I'm really feeling for these. If their names aren't Ernie and Mike, I'm upset.
It's probably like Raphael and no, that's
Pierre.
That's
bad.
definitely not French.
Is that
it's like
Spanish?
Francois and like
Francois
Pierre, right?
and Pierre.
Pierre and Francois.
Ratatouille.
I think it was
Ratatouille.
George St. Pierre and I don't know.
Well, yeah, he is French.
Crazy.
French Canadian.
That's insane.
It is wild that that's like how they used to settle shit. Like even like Wild West, like
Yeah.
the little
They had
duels
shootouts.
Yeah, it
and
was
shit.
between Jean de Corregos and Jacques Legaris.
So Ben Affleck, did you say Ben Affleck and Matt Damon? They're gonna be the
Two whitest dudes. Jacques Lys.
And nobody's gonna bitch that it's not a French guy either.
Ben Affleck's gonna be the bad.
Goodwill Hunting.
100%.
Ben
Matt Damon
Affleck's
has
gonna have
to
to
be
be like the bigger dude.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh,
I want
yeah,
to see that
Batman.
movie. I want to go see that.
He's not Batman anymore, bro.
I know now it's
Yeah,
Edward.
Robert Pattinson's
Robert
been
Pat
rocking
and
that.
Somebody was saying he's actually gonna kill it.
I kind of
think
dig.
I think he's
Robert.
gonna-
He looks. Like he
Have you
looks
seen
good.
the movie The Lighthouse?
Mm.
Him and William Dafoe just came out last year.
I don't think I have.
Oh, you were
crazy.
telling me about it.
It's crazy. You guys should.
His
watch
acting is just so
it. It's
bad.
like
in Twilight.
it's like two like people like on lighthouse duty and they're on that.
Oh, I
island,
have
and
seen
they
the
lose
preview for
their
that.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
You should watch.
I would too.
William Dafoe's. I love William Dafoe, dude. He's just so unique. Like his voice, like is so like iconic. He was the voice of who is? Oh, I don't know if you guys saw Death Note, but he did the voice for.
Oh, yeah.
he did the voice for Ryuk,
The
which they
Green
could have
Goblin.
done. Yeah, and Green Goblin. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
John Wick.
John Wick.
John Wick. Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
That's right. He wasn't.
He's the guy that had like is really good like sharpshooter.
Yeah.
but then like he gets like fucking killed in his
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Anybody who
haven't
hasn't seen
seen
John Wick?
Sorry.
Well, hey, I didn't even
It
know.
only came
that-
out later.
For like 6 years. Watch it
If
already.
you haven't seen John Wick,
It's okay.
who cares?
I didn't even know that freaking homie's older brother passed away. So some people just don't know shit.
Some people are just clueless.
Some people are stupid. Me.
Are you
All right,
drunk?
4 hours in.
I'm all right.
It's actually only been an
I'm a
hour
little
and
fuckered
40
up.
minutes.
Dude, I
Not too bad.
straight vodka I couldn't do.
Straight vodka.
I'm
sounds-
surprised you
back
haven't
on the
finished that.
drinking.
I was
Because he
gonna
was
go-
relying on me to take my second pull, which would have been the rest of that.
I went a little hammy last night. I'll do one for. I didn't know.
Oh,
I went a little shitty. Got a little
Sponsored by Tito's.
Sponsored by Tito's. Hope you guys are enjoying this episode. I'm glad we got Shane on here. He's I love him. Good
Yeah,
guy.
it's fun.
It's a good group of guys we got here. Tune in. Tune the
glad-
fuck in.
Yeah,
I think if they're hearing this at this point, they've been tuned in. So
Well, this one's for
yeah. Thanks for
everyone.
having me on. I like this. This is fun. It's weird. I'm starting my own podcast too. I'm starting my own podcast.
are you?
You should call it.
It's called Tapped In.
You should call
Hey.
it tapped in.
Yeah. And then
take
every
credit
time
for
I
that
start
name,
an
huh?
episode, I'm like, all right, we're tapping in.
Hey.
Like coding. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's dope.
But yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you
like,
should have us all on.
Whatever happened to the Dutch Bros one?
well, since I took this new position,
Yeah. Just no time.
I just they wanted me to focus on this.
You guys don't still do. I thought you guys still did it.
Well, you still do. I was a co-host,
Oh, okay.
so only one person does it.
Gotcha.
But it's fun. I got to interview a lot of cool people, a couple celebrities, and yeah, it's sick.
What's yours going to be about? Like, are you doing anything?
It's just kind of like this.
Yeah.
You know,
Lifestyle.
Like, lifestyle. Talking about random stories. Like
Yeah.
I like to tell stories if you haven't figured it out
Yeah.
already. But
Yeah.
No, yours is going to be really
Yeah.
good too, and because like
Yeah.
you're into so much different, different conspiracy theories, aliens, dude. You can just talk about so much.
I just like learning. I'm like
Yeah.
a sponge, and I like to learn random things. And
That's how it goes.
But I just like talking, like, and it's not gonna be like super crazy long, like
Yeah.
30 to 45 minutes of that. But yeah, dude. Hoping to launch it by the
You
end
think
of this
that
month.
now?
when are you dropping that, or when are you starting that?
I have all my setup. Just looking for streaming platforms right now.
Right
They're the best. But like editing too, because for Dutch Bros we did it on Adobe Acrobat.
Yeah.
And that's so like high end, where it's just like I can find something cheaper
Yeah.
to do it. So I'm looking at the end of this month, maybe early March. But yeah,
Right on.
You guys will, all of our listeners, go check out.
Well,
Tappan
we'll put
when
his
it
social
starts.
media in the links and stuff, and people can find that. And follow.
It seems. I mean, I've done podcasts for like about a year and a half, and so not doing it. I was like, oh, I know how to do it. I have a pretty good voice for radio.
Yeah, you do have a good voice. So
Yeah.
Right on. Well, you want to drop your social media and stuff and let people know where they can find you? And
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me on Twitter if you want. I don't really tweet them. I just repost a bunch of funny shit. But that's at the Shane Tappan, and then Instagram I think is just Shane_Tappan.
Cool.
That's about it. But yeah,
right on, dude.
Thanks for coming on, baby.
We appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you guys. This is fun.
Yeah, dude.
We should do this more
I
often.
had some good laughs.
I'll just be. I won't be a guest, but now I know when you guys record, I'll just be outside on the street.
Just throwing rocks at the fucking window.
Just have a boombox.
What are you guys talking about?
Let me in.
I'm like, Shane, stop.
What are you guys talking about?
We'll make that a segment. We're gonna go to Shane on the street, and we'll just open the fucking window. And you can shout in.
Is it my turn yet? It's cold out here today in Grass Pass, Oregon.
Right on.
Sponsored by Tito's. I think I'm a little fucked up.
Maybe.
A little buzzed. I'm a little buzzed.
That's why I didn't want to take my
Let's go
second
eat
pull because I would
something.
have been drunk.
Yeah, you should probably.
I ate Rule 1 protein pancakes today along with some
Hey.
eggies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening, and stay tuned for next week. I think. No, it's 2 weeks. We're going to be at the Arnold in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Hell yeah.
I won't be
let
there.
us know if you're going to be there.
Jay's
And,
coming. He doesn't know yet. but he's
I
gonna be
wish. I won't.
Also, make sure you guys, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, make sure you guys go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe to that because we started a new one where we're throwing up clips. So check out that.
Tito's.
And Tito's. All right, guys. Talk to you next time. Stay savage, my friends.
Bye.